Hello, my family, Kabo. Welcome to Sheriff's Broadcast Network, the place where they bring Africa live to whosoever you day around the globe. Of course, it's another day today with the come to una live from studio number 8. Of course, now the Blue Room, now they will day today again. Of course, for bring you news, information, and education about Sierra Leone. And of course, with the hope say you they do well out there, whosoever you day around the globe, with the feel say you they do very well. Of course, if this is not your first time for join we want to take opportunity of this moment for officially welcome you to Sheriff's Broadcast Network, and for assure you say you don't take the right decision for being at the right place, because now so will they bring you comes stuff way relevant information, education, and of course news way relevant to Sierra Leone. So today we get plenty things then for talk about. Of course, when I know say the National Grand Coalition, where now the new political party where they don't form, where Dr. Kandeh Yumkella, of course, now the head of that party day. Then get the convention today in Abo City. Of course, we'll get for bring that one day to una. Of course, we'll get for also talk to the elected vice president, Alhaji Abubakar Siddiqui Soumana. Of course, we'll talk to her live about key issues them in the country. And of course, we also get for take a comparative look at Ghana as a country with all the developments the way they don't make. And then of course get a first-hand information from one of our sisters we don't they reside in Ghana, and of course it just don't return back to Sierra Leone. They give you your own feedback on the two countries them. The country who say born and Ghana who say a visit, who say go school. And so we'll therefore bring all of that to una. And of course, we just don't introduce a new program now so na Sheriff's Broadcast Network where na information all they bring come to una about health. Of course, this now is suggestion will come up from plenty of una own the watch way around the globe. For say one tell they talk about health. And so today we'll therefore bring that new program to una. So we know see that plenty things that we'll therefore bring come to una. So we ask that you stick around as we continue for bring you the program. Of course, me na Ibrahim Sheriff, na me go be una host na also for the next hour or so. Of course, the other thing we want for tell una today, na the Houston community, we don't lose a very important person. Somebody where everybody knows say na be good person, educator to everybody. Anybody where knows say you get problem, if you get a chance, they go solve that problem. They na be big man na the community. It suddenly don't pass away this couple of days. Of course, on Wednesday, now all of this happened. Everybody shocked, like how they talk to us now. In fact, today self will not be one for broadcast, but now because we get important information for past, now that make the broadcast. And so, as for the broadcast, we will continue for more Mr. Stephen Koroma, former lecturer at Frobe College, former senior teacher of economics at Albert's Academy, and of course, a former teacher at Government Secondary School, Kenema. So na person we don't teach plenty Sierra Leoneans, then people in Sabiam. They be call us Steve Vovo na FBC. They be lecture economics. And so na that person they would don't lost na Houston, Texas. But then we get for continue for come to una live from the Blue Room. Stick around with us.
Rolling in my Bentley, clean, chilling with my crocodiles. Yes, I got my team up. Confidential. I'll take you to the right spot, dancing on your G-spot. Yes, we gonna do it in my suite. Presidential. When you rollin' with the band, come on, you know the credential. Bangali first class, it's not accidental. If you're sitting down, you're sitting on a long ton. But the only long ton must be a strong ton. Yo, with the Coco Master, it's a fun thing. The girls, they put their back cause na me they run things. Na me they run things. When I'm done with you, nobody done me. Bad sharp guy, crocodile Dundee. Don't ask me how I do it, it's confidential. Rolling in my Bentley, chilling with my crocodiles. Yes, I got my team up. Confidential. I'll take you to the right spot, dancing on your G-spot. Yes, we gonna do it in my suite. Presidential. When you rollin' with the band, come on, you know the credential. Bangali first class, it's not accidental.
When they talk to you, then you get big. I know they look your face, if I like you look. Lights down low, west up leg. Push it right back, sit down, pandy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quick speed, have you on the floor like G-string getting tore down like bra strap getting pulled back leg. They say me Creole, he wawa leg. They say me money, he long leg. No man then they talk leg. I ain't make the shoulder, the cock leg.
Rolling in my Bentley, chilling with my crocodiles. Yes, I got my team up. Confidential. I'll take you to the right spot, dancing on your G-spot. Yes, we gonna do it in my suite. Presidential. When you rolling with the band, come on, you know the credential. Bangali first class, it's not accidental.
I never tell number one baby where you dey. Sexy bikini look me safe at the nine name. Sometimes I be and we see how you dey. Waist like a balloon, they bounce and like a inside the club, rub the bounce and like duck the whole shot, glass 9 months. She said shadow boxer, follow me. The 2-leg blabbers, where the baby mental, and that make we take it we jump up.
Confidential.
If you waist big, okay, you get potential, and that make we take it we jump up.
Confidential.
They ride me rough like for save me na rental, and that make we take it we jump up.
Confidential.
It's how we do the thing, no dental, that make we take it we jump up.
Confidential.
Rolling in my Bentley, chilling with my crocodiles. Yes, I got my team up. Confidential. I'll take you to the right spot, dancing on your G-spot. Yes, we gonna do it in my suite. Presidential. When you rollin' with the band, come on, you know the credential. Bangali first class, it's not accidental. When you rollin' with the band, come on, you know the credential. Bangali first class, it's not accidental.
Of course, me family that's now confidential. Confidential, of course, you can't believe this na Salon Mandem in Nigeria and then do am. Of course, Idris Elba we na a Hollywood star, a movie actor. Of course, na Indu da one day so together with Shadow Boxer, and of course with the band from Nigeria. Of course, confidential. Na old song, not a new song that one day, na old song. But we just feel say we necessary for Lord Brian come to now today. And of course, especially that we get for talk about some very important issues that are confidential issues, well, not confidential actually, because when it comes to Sierra Leone, there is nothing that is confidential. We are citizens of the country. We need for no waiting they go on at the country, and of course, especially that Salon people then they demand change, and of course, when they demand change, I think they need for no waiting, we don't go on at the country, and so now that we get for talk about now. So today, of course, you know, say the National Grand Coalition, the NGC, then getting convention about today. The convention don't wrap up, but of course, with national senior reporter Mr. Sheku Tanga get for give updates on waiting happen inside Bo City today. And of course, we also be getting opportunity for talk to the elected vice president of the country. no other person but His Excellency Alhaji Abubakar Siddiqui Soumana. Of course, we don't talk to him earlier today. Of course, get an exclusive interview. We talk on plenty issues them. And of course, we continue to appreciate him for the knowledge, the education we get for Giwi today, Naya. And of course, we also do a comparative look at Ghana as a country. And of course, one with sister happen for dinner Ghana, it don't return back to Sierra Leone. It get for Giwi in your own eyewitness account of waiting is seen at Ghana we will not get in a salon and what we supposed forget. Right? So now then thing and then we'll get for discuss now. So today in Sheriff's Broadcast Network. And of course, if you just join we want for me sit on tight as we bring the programs to you right about this time. But once more, that song was Confidential by Idris Elba and Shadow Boxer, and of course the Bunch. All right? Okay, stick around with us.
You have to make the humble sacrifices to be able to be successful and make a change. Indicative of that, for me to be here, it tells me that for me and the rest of the world, whatever you're doing, you've been recognized.
All man poor. That money will just have a value. If you don't take yourself your life at risk, because now what if man will kind of use one stop at something and then they took you life. But if you get 1,000, you see that 500, the other one get 1,500, get 2,000. Not if man will kind of use because all man get small. What the fuck? Now some ones for all man get small alone.
For the trouble declaration of assets, yes, we all for commit. All of us for declare we assets. Me, I believe that all of us, but enough for be one person, everybody for do one. Everybody, una begin demand that. And we for do every year. For let una see. Then una know say they know they come for fleece una. Now that make una need win at this campaign.
Police don't demonstrate high level of unprofessionalism. As you don't have your office, at the home, we don't know what happened. I just see tear gas and the fire at the time inside the office.
That's all. When they call New Life Community, now God then no say a bad name, so they try to change them to New Life Community. And then they come, say that nobody don't put for class and left by themselves. Go there the first they run, they'll take, we go there back when they don't get at the second train, we will finish 3 of them within our custody now.
Yeah, this is fine. I totally agree with this.
Okay, yeah. Of course, me fun with them, wanna stick around with us. Of course, put Salon first. We'll get for put Salon first at all times. Now that we encourage in our Sheriff's Broadcast Network at all times, we'll get for put Salon first. And so, waiting you see, and you know, some of the things that we'll get for bring come to now today. And of course, you see Alhaji Soumana. Man, we don't receive an award. Of course, the award we receive, we'll get for talk bottom. But before we do all of that one day, let we see waiting at some of the images that will be the gets from Bow City today. We'll say the National Grand Coalition, then convention, of course, inside the city of Bow. So let's see some of them things and they coming in right today from the reporters back there in Freetown. Stick around. Of course, like what you don't see, that's now Dr. Kandeh Yumkella, of course, now in the appear at the convention hall inside Bow City. We, today appear in Bow City at the convention hall, of course, and the crowd, that one the way they welcome them in Bow City, of course, now that one they happen today. We'll get for talk about that. And of course, we'll get for even go further for see waiting happen next. And of course, waiting with the senior so now. Right, and so what you will see now, so now that the NGC, the National Grand Coalition, of course, and then convention, this now, some of the, before the meeting they actually start from then go inside the hall. But what can happen today, the city of Bow, is that in our town, like all the other conventions that we don't see. Wherein, the convention feels small, like the APC then style, in the sense that the way we then elect the leader today is a little different. Then say instead of people and the delegates and the vote, then say that the national something council wouldn't get. I don't know if INEC they call them, and then come together when at the top executive about the 69, and then vote for who would I get for be the presidential candidate of the NGC. They say that we get other two contestants, then we contest against Dr. Kandeh Yumkella, and of course Kandeh Yumkella and I get for emerge as the winner. So we don't know how credible that election day, we don't know how reliable and how transparent it was, because they want to give this semblance of the fact, say, not to something like an APC, but Kandeh be done the outstanding criticize, the SLPP and especially the presidential candidate Julius Madabio of its supporters then for the bulldoze them. In fact, that make a left the party because then they force tribalism and they force for say under all costs that Madabio for B. So now inside the National Grand Coalition, I don't know what's in and do different. Because it looks like, say, the same thing where Dr. Yumkella accused the SLPP of that don't happen inside the NGC. But of course, we'll get for come bring some of the NGC supporters then for let them go talk on this issue exclusively. So one for me continue for stick around as we continue for show you the program.
Called Deliver, Zakia, Black Leo, y'all. Talk to the people.
I tell you, now have back them in the youth, and they can't hang on for Poda. We know that. Today, a millionaire. Some man want to be president now. Because you know why? He don't sit down, not to say get a clever pass you and me. Simply because them put on that side, wait for build road, build school for people picking it. In one day not take half that money. Now he don't change. He said, but me a clever to God against sense. Me na magic man. From zero to millionaire. Now na power I want to be president. Because $1 million not do for me now. I want $10 million. And how they get that? You blood 90 so. Now that make me elect asset declaration. And I ready for one. You understand? Now that one for what? We know they say let us in urgency. Me, I want to see somebody buy Okada from one Okada so they get 50. Buy one cookie shop now I get high story late because you get the chance. You able to lend money in a bank, make money, you get shop there now. The cow there in their man they get supermarket. Yes, Saloma get supermarket. But for let us in grab no more. Because we mistake say do ya would lend you job. Like the minister for me. From halfback to millionaire. Now you get Land Cruiser, you know Land Cruiser no more. Now you want Range Rover. From the Range Rover, now I say, when me a clever person now they can be president. So we all now you want fry with. Then they go and scatter money. That same man they 10 years ago, you know they fuck up. You know how much they pay minister? 12 million. 12 million Leon. 12 million Leon on $1,500. $1,500.
This not the time for waste the country money. But we'll bring natural artists. If I don't keep on for we. Sober-minded leader, now that we need though. Man, we don't help Salon, plenty do you need though. Leader, we go empower the youth, do all you need for. Salon with this kind of Soumana bingo. The power don't work. Una not to the part, we need fresh faces. Una not to the type, election they come. Una just the hype. Country first ball, new direction. We need sober leader, leader we're strong.
Right. We'll get for put Salon first, of course, which you don't see under Dr. Kandeh Yumkella. They talk on some of the issues. We make a form the National Grand Coalition and we make it a run for the presidency of the country. Dr. Kandeh Yumkella in Tokyo. And so the convention take place today in Abo City, and of course we reporter down inside the city of Bo. And of course, able for cover the election today, the convention today. And we get for ask him waiting at some of the observations and some of the things that we observe here today. So my family will stick around as we make this happen. Stick around as we bring no other person but Mr. Sheku Tanga, Senior National Reporter of SBN. Stick around with us. Okay, and so my family just like how we tell now, of course, on the line now we Senior National Reporter, of course, Mr. Sheku Tanga. It happened for Dana Bowl today, who side the National Grand Coalition that we get then convention. And of course, we'll get for Brian come on now for Mexico, able for Giwi an update on waiting a observed today at the convention. Hello, Sheku, how you do today?
Yeah, I look okay. How you say do about it?
I do okay. But how you they sound like that? Is everything fine with you, Sheku?
Yeah, I just look too fatigued, you know.
Fatigue, I know. You've been telling me about your sickness day. Okay, then we will discuss personally. So, Sheku, you happen to go around today the NGC then convention. Give me a description of what side the convention take place, what's be the atmosphere, what's happen, all of that.
Oh yes, the NGC convention finally take place today. They call up inaugural convention because this is not the very first inaugural convention where they don't actually organize since they begin for talk about the formation of this party. And we know say this is not a new party. We don't form for actually come into the political landscape in the country. And the convention take place at the outskirts of Bo City on the Bo Kenema Highway. Now a very brand new hotel which they just construct. They call the place Galines Resort. Galines Resorts. Now a new place actually. Now they the only convention, but it's a bit far away from the center of Bo City.
Oh, okay. So it's a little far away from the center of the city. So, what's in your observation of you don't cover the SLPP convention, of course. We don't also cover the APC convention. So, when you compare them two conventions and to the NGC convention, what's in you take on what you observe by this convention today?
Well, the place this morning, because I've been ready as early as this morning for make sure say are able for observe and fumble for no say we don't cover convention of the other political parties, the SLPP and the APC. Now the Galines Paradise Resort, which the NDC then they get their own convention. Of course, already this morning, the party national officials what they call the INEC, they first be engaged themselves in what we call they say foundation member meeting. Their foundation member meeting it not be open to everybody, even the journalists then. Now they no more been dealing with PPRC and NEC, but all other even ordinary members of the NDC were not allowed to be in there. So what is then discussed, what is not discussed, it not be too clear. But waiting we actually been getting forget later, which was unconfirmed, was that they did try for agree and they be try for disagree and agree and put their houses together so that they go actually come now and vote for whether they want for the party. But what will be very clear now, when we look at the agenda this morning, then what you then do variation day. But if you go strictly by the agenda, not be state about election. But later we see now then resolve that for conduct an election, and 3 people then actually contest for the flag bearer position for the NGC. One woman we then call DC Mata Sakui. One other person we then call Michael Kalon and Dr. Kandeh Yumkella, and then 3 actually contest for become the presidential candidate of the NDC. But when they conduct the election, the person will be served as the electoral chairman, Francis Hindoa, they get for make and clear say this election within the conduct for the very first time, not so delegates and get for votes. Then say now the INEC members, the foundation members, will they serve at national level, at national executive, but they no more get for vote. So later, then we get for announce only 69 of that INEC members now then get for vote for whether for become the presidential flag bearer for the NDC. So now that happened exactly. So where they don't contest, okay, they get 3 ballot box. So then call the delegates and one after the other. INEC members and one after the other for go votes. So at the end of voting, then they get for count. The female aspirants when DC Mata Sakui didn't get for end for get about 6 votes. But waiting not be clear. Madam Sakui not been aspirant. They're not being allowed for vote because they say not to a member of the interim National Executive Council. But the 2 other male aspirants, Michael Jallo and Dr. Kandeh Yumkella, they get for votes for themselves. You want enough votes. So Michael Kalombi end up for get 5 votes, and Dr. Kandeh Yumkella didn't get for get 55 votes, and the one they always vote. So 3 people then be actually absent will be supposed for votes will not be make themselves available. So now that's what happened exactly.
And so Sheku, you don't cover other conventions then. You don't see especially the SLPP convention, how democratic it was, how the people they really follow the dictates of the constitution of their party. You feel say there are other people that really contest against Kandeh Yumkella, not to a makeshift, not to thing whether they try for makeup or for give that semblance of true democracy taking place in the NGC, not to fake thing. A reality for certain people here, so they really mean them. Then campaign to people that for me then go win for be the presidential candidate of the NGC.
Yeah, that was some of the aspirations with people then be made, because it's been clear that Dr. Kandeh Yumkella, some people then say several coordination then they go palm. So when they hold the caucus meeting, I think some people been say therefore, you know, bring out people for contest, you know, because you therefore reflects back that KKY was a member of the SLPP, and it makes several accusations that SLPP not being opened up to other members. We actually for come and contribute democratically. So there be the point figures on all of those things. So they're not the ones for let the public get.
This is Bo City, and they are supporters of Joseph Mada Pulum, former Southern Regional Chairman of the country's main opposition, Sierra Leone People's Party. Jubilant after
publicly now the hall we see a semblance of election. We also the members and the INEC members and therefore go conduct. Cast and vote in favor of whether for lead the party. So that was very clear.
Okay. All right. And so waiting at the next thing where you feel say get for happen to the NGC, when they get for announce the presidential candidate, when the INEC or the NEC people then get for vote, you know, for make that decision.
Otherwise, they don't come out clear today. Kandeh Yumkella the presidential candidate of the NGC.
Okay.
And then they can vote. So even way them declare as presidential candidates after the election, you get for make emergency speech, you get for talk, say you don't accept the decision we then take for making lead the NGC as the presidential candidate in the 2018 March 7 presidential election. And it talk on a wide range of issues waiting it get for do, it get for engage, because it makes several accusations about how the governance system they go under the country under the current dispensation of the APC, where it say it's not proper. And it points on a lot of other things, corruption, it talk about institutional collapse, it talk about unemployment, and say all of them here we then come as NDC if they are fortunate to win the election. They will bring a change in the life of the ordinary Sierra Leoneans and push development go before for every citizens in the country. So actually, Dr. Kandeh Yumkella is now the official flag bearer or presidential candidate of the NGC.
Wow. Okay, and so they don't disperse now. The convention is over, right?
The convention is over around 6:30 p.m. Now the convention, everything done. I've been made to understand that they get another function we then get for doing the national stadium at Freetown, but I'm not too clear how. Well, waiting at the nature of that function we then get tomorrow at Freetown.
Right.
But waiting we been clear, then pull people them from other districts and the regions and for Nabu or can't witness this particular event where then we get Nabu City.
Okay, and so what's have been the kind crowd where the ordinary people of Bo, how they receive this convention? You know, is it comparable to the convention which take place in Kenema or Freetown with regards to the SLPP, you know, where you cover?
Well, honestly, when you compare their own, events where they organize in terms of population, in terms of following, you don't compare them to the two political parties events where the previously don't end. Their own convention where they don't do the SLPP convention at Kenema and the one where they do at Freetown, Nakatsko Hotel along with Kings Road, and even the APC, their own where they do in Matini. You don't compare. And but for no say this time a new political party will just emerge. So for let actually people then buy the ideology again for take time for let them convince people about waiting they want to do. But by and large, they get a young, small crowd and they just start, then see them go for begin set up the stage now for market the presidential candidates so that they go able for change the perception of Sierra Leoneans from only voting for the two traditional political parties, as they refer to them, the SLPP and the APC. And they say then they come for actually create a change, and that change must be now for the youth, and the youth then will play a bigger role, because the youth, then they suffer, women they suffer, picking they suffer, all of these issues then. So then talk on all of which they affect the ordinary life of the people, and they talk about transformation at all levels, where it could be better for the development of the country and for the development of Sierra Leoneans in general.
All right, so me from them Sheku Tanga, senior national reporter of SBN, of course, he report to we from Bow City. Of course, Sheku, we hope that you will feel better, they feel too well. Thank you so much for the updates we don't give you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I just want to give confidence and assurance with people and say we will continue for updates, and the elections to come. Very crucial for the peace and stability of the country. So we'll cover every of the events for updates and the Sierra Leoneans already out there.
All right.
So I want to thank to all the ones that will listen to SBN. And when they make the little contribution.
All right, thank you very much, Sheku. Okay, and so my family just like how we tell now, of course, on the line now we senior national reporter, of course, Mr. Sheku Tanga. It happened for Dana Bowl today, who side the National Grand Coalition that we get then convention. And of course, we'll get for Brian come on now for Meki go able for Giwi an update on waiting a observe today at the convention. Hello, Sheku, how you do today? All right, and so me fam with them that na Sheku Tanga, of course, we'll be doing interview before this live interview today. Of course, a report on waiting the National Grand Coalition that they do na Bow City. Of course, we don't see that report now. And so we get for can talk to one of the spokesmen for the National Grand Coalition, we're based in the United States. So family want for me stick around as we make that happen. Stick around with us.
I tell you, now have back them in the youth, and they can't hang in the for Poda. We know that. Today, a millionaire. Some man want to be president now. Because you know why? He don't sit down, not to say get a clever pass you and me. Simply because they put on that side, wait for build road, build hospital, build school for people picking it. In one grade not take half that money. Now he don't change. He said, but me a clever to God against sense. Me na magic man. From zero to millionaire. Now on a power I want to be president. They got $1 million not do for me now. I want $10 million. And how they get that? You blood 90 so. Now that make me a like asset declaration. And I ready for one. You understand? Now that's one for what? We know they say let us not gentry. Me I want to see somebody buy Okada from one Okada so they get 50. Buy one cookie shop now I get high story in it because you get the chance. You able to go lend money in a bank, make money, you get shop there now. The cow there in their man they need, they get supermarket. Yes, Saloma get supermarket. But for let us in grab no more. Because we mistake say do ya would lend you job. Like the minister for me. From halfback to millionaire now you get Land Cruiser, you know Land Cruiser no more, now you want Range Rover. From the Range Rover now I say when you're a clever person now they can be president. So we all now you want fry with. Then they go and scatter money. That same man they 10 years ago not get fuck up. You know how much they pay minister? 12 million. 12 million Leon. 12 million Leon on $1,500. $1,500.
It's not to time for waste the country money. But we'll bring natural artists. If I don't keep on for we. Sober minded leader, now that we need though. Man, we don't help Salon, plenty do you need though. Leader, we go empower the youth, do all you need for. Salon with this kind of Soumana, bingo. The power don't work. Una not to the park, we need fresh faces. Una not to the type, election they come. Una just the hype.
occasions to go back and serve a country. And once you're there, you should be able to measure your success by your achievements, by the legacies you leave.
I declare say today, we hail your SLPP.
I'm not going to be a novice in that office. I've been there before. I showed unflinching commitment to my country. I will hit the ground running because I know exactly what to do on the first day they get there.
You know when they happen, only presidential candidate declare in money, in assets, what he get. Because all the rumor, the number, me don't do them. I lead by example, and I make sure say people them do by example. So one of the main reasons I don't preach politics of truth. Not enough for me people enough for vote for me give me the presidency. And I do them, and I don't call on President Anis Kuruma himself for making declare in your asset. So I do that, and also all the aspiring presidential candidates made and declare the asset.
I come from Sierra Leone. I was born in Sierra Leone. Last year, 2008, it was ranked the poorest country in the world.
My doors are open as a politician to see what I'm going to do. And for now, like I said, I'm going to focus on bringing back justice for the people of Sierra Leone.
I hear the people walk by.
So meaning that on Saturday evening, it not going to rain too much. But even that, they get the likelihood to change, right? Because we know say this whole week now throughout the rain. So the waiting at the highlight for this week. The highlight is that there's going to be rainfall. Yes. Of course, we'll get for Put Salon Force, and of course, the NGC with their national convention right there in Bow City today. Of course, me fam with them. So not that would they try for governor also today. So what see what they do? Would they try for see if we can get one of the spokesmen for the National Grand Coalition for make it go join with Nayaso on Sheriff's Broadcast Network. So stick around with us.
Occasions to go back and serve a country. And once you're there, you should be able to measure your success by your achievements, by the legacies you leave.
I declare say today, we hail your SLPP.
I'm not going to be a novice in that office. I've been there before. I showed unflinching commitment to my country. I will hit the ground running because I know exactly what to do on the first day they get there.
happen? Only presidential candidate declare in money, in assets, what he get. Because all na rumor and no man. Me don't do them. I lead by example, and I make sure say people do by example. So one of the main reasons I don't preach politics of truth. Not enough for me people enough for vote for me give me the presidency. And I do them, and I don't call on President Ibrahim himself for making declare in your asset. So I do that, and also all the aspiring presidential candidates made and declare the asset.
I come from Sierra Leone. I was born in Sierra Leone. Last year, 2008, it was ranked the poorest country in the world.
My doors are open as a politician to see what I'm going to do. And for now, like I said, I'm going to focus on bringing back justice for the people of Sierra Leone.
I hear the people walk by.
So meaning that on Saturday evening it not going to rain too much, but even that they get the likelihood to change, right? Because we know say this whole week not throughout na rain. So the waiting at the highlight for this week. The highlight is that there's going to be rainfall.
Occasions to go back and serve a country. And once you're there, you should be able to measure your success by your achievements, by the legacies you leave.
One, I declare say today, we all now SLPP.
I'm not going to be a novice in that office. I've been there before. I showed unflinching commitment to my country. I will hit the ground running because I know exactly what to do on the first day they get there.
When they happen, only presidential candidate declare in money, in assets, what he get. Because all na rumor and no man. Me don't do them. I lead by example, and I make sure say people do by example. So one of the main reasons I don't preach politics of truth. Not enough for me people enough for vote for me give me the presidency. And I do them, and I don't call on President Ibrahim himself for making declare in your asset. So I do that, and also all the aspiring presidential candidates made and declare the asset.
I come from Sierra Leone. I was born in Sierra Leone. Last year, 2008, it was ranked the poorest country in the world.
My doors are open as a politician to see what I'm going to do. And for now, like I said, I'm going to focus on bringing back justice for the people of Sierra Leone.
I hear the people walk by.
So meaning that on Saturday evening, it not going to rain too much. But even that, they get the likelihood to change, right? Because we know say this whole week not throughout na rain. So the waiting at the highlight for this week. The highlight is that there's going to be rainfall.
Occasions to go back and serve a country. And once you're there, you should be able to measure your success by your achievements, by the legacies you leave.
I declare say today, we all now SLPP.
I'm not going to be a novice in that office. I've been there before. I showed unflinching commitment to my country. I will hit the ground running because I know exactly what to do on the first day they get there.
You know when they happen, only presidential candidate declare in money, in assets, what he get. Because all na rumor the number. Me don't do them. I lead by example, and I make sure say people do by example. So one of the main reasons I don't preach politics of truth. Not enough for me people enough for vote for me give me the presidency. And I do them, and I don't call on President Anis Kuruma himself for making declare in your assets. So I do that, and also all the aspiring presidential candidates made and declare the assets.
I come from Sierra Leone. I was born in Sierra Leone. Last year, 2008, it was ranked the poorest country in the world.
My doors are open as a politician to see what I'm going to do. And for now, like I said, I'm going to focus.
Hello, my family. We want to say a lot of apologies to now because of how everything will come. We did try to forget the Kandeh Yumkella people and for join we, but they get problem with them. You know, facts right now that they call they get problem with them Skype connection. So do ya wanna hang around with me, right? So. All right, and so my family will get for apologize to now for the technical glitch we'll be get with the Skype connection. Of course, now two people that don't connect, one from Europe and one from the US. You know, it'll be easy for them to get time, but we don't get time finally. And so my family, you know, say just like how we don't tell you, the National Grand Coalition, they don't get the convention inside Bo City today. We don't listen to our reporter Sheikh Utanga. He don't report exclusively on waiting and findings today. Na the na Bo City, na the convention, of course, the NGC convention. So what see what they do now? Would they try for talk to you know, the one day winner, the some of the people that really talk good, but the National Grand Coalition, of course, I get for bring them come on now for let them interact with we today. Of course, we get with Sister Anna when Zainab, then we get Mr. Sako. They all two go come up on the screen as you know then they talk, right? Hello Zainab, how you they do?
They do fine, how you say?
They do good, they do good. So how you feel today for say the National Grand Coalition they don't get convention inside Bo? How you feel about that?
Well, I really feel good and I really feel proud of the some people them and I really feel proud of Dr. Kandeh Yumkella as well.
That's good. And so, Mr. Sako, I know say, Usa ever you day. Of course, today is a very good day for you. Of course, the National Grand Coalition, you know, they were in their rainbow colors today inside Bo City. We see how they decorate the hall. You see, one of people that we like for do things with class. Waiting at you comment on how you feel today inside Bo City.
Well, this is a very personal thing to me because now. Born, now they are men, now they are grown, now they are go school. And if you recall, Kandeh Yumkella don't talk and plenty time. Nabu he born, he married Nabu, in West in Papa Mo Kailang. So really, Kandeh Yumkella in youthfulness, all Nabu he do. But I'm more happy because if all can remember, he go there one time after we don't spend 50 million leons for it's the SLPP office Nabu. They go there a visit, then stop them for making not go inside it. And somebody go call them Kenya Muni. And we all know when you tell somebody say Kenya Muni permanent, that's straight. Whether anyhow we then choose them, or go able for bypass the fact or say that tribalism. No matter how you plan, because one, the man come on, in don't come for campaign. Now Sierra Leone, they go Usai in West Comot and Usai in Comot, Usai in go school. They pay money for renovate so that the party will be able for business. Then when they get there, why we not call the other ones and tell money? When I block her in the first place, why? So today. You welcome for the competition. Nabu, na statements we don't send say as only people that they know Dr. Kandeh Yumkella, they know which it stand for, then go accept them in thousands, if not millions, before the election. Self they reach, will cover all the people that will be the Poland Kenya way, make them turn back to their nose in their fellow Sierra Leone. I got in power and shout.
And so, Zainab, you know, make her bring you come back in. You know, plenty of people that they talk say, you know, Kandeh Yumkella been talk say, inside the SLPP, you know, they're not they try for create a level playing field, which say all man go able for compete effectively. And so then they push Madabiu on the people then. So now we don't see say Kandeh himself, now the same thing don't happen inside the National Grand Coalition, wherein we know say, now in under all costs, now in don't be the presidential candidate. How you go able for defend that kind of talk they sign up where all man they talk?
Well, for me, it's the right for himself, the right decision for the people them. Because at the end of the day, Ibrahim, he will talk to this Soumana SLPP begin. I choose for support Dr. Kandeh Yumkella because of the good thing the way I see in the book. Yes? So Kandeh Yumkella, it feels say, yeah, at the end of the day, there is no way, it feels say, no one any problem, like a very peaceful man. So he taking on decision where he feels a right for the Sierra Leone people and from a man we put in country before. They put in country before. So but all the people like he say, you know, obviously the people like get for top. Whatever they want to say a lot of things the way, not to the right way, not to the right thing. But the man of himself when Dr. Kandeh Yumkella with in decision, he know why take that decision.
Right. And so, Mr. Sako, what do you say to that? Wherein everybody they say this man they don't come inside the SLPP say because then they force Madabio on the people. So they don't want no other person pass Madabio. So now instead of them forming your party, they don't want no other person pass Kandeh Yumkella. What do you go say to that criticism?
Well, the difference here, Leon and brothers and sisters in work in this program, there's a big difference. With SLPP, though we first understand Kandeh Yumkella in Papa, Chief Yumkella, now them, Samuel Magai, and other wonderful forefathers them, where them build this SLPP, and then build them on the foundation of inclusiveness. Not a tolerant party. Me self-self doctrine in our SLPP 100%. But the way we then treat Kandeh Yumkella, he try all kind way for make the thing be transparent and be fair and make them give them a level playing field. But we often say that never happened. Point in case, the convention will happen at Kenema. Every other view want for make a win, not a win. Not one person lost. We want man. How can that be possible? If there is no reading, if there is no corruption.
Well, some monkey talks saying a smart politics. You know, you get for do your politics, right?
Yes. So man talking a flat Mr. Sheriff, man saying flat politics. But not to flat politics.
Smart. No, they say it's smart. They say it's smart.
I know, but it do want.
Zainab, you can come in anytime where you feel like coming in.
Yeah, I mean, we Andrew Kelly left, and all them not because they hate the party. No, they don't hate the party. Now the system inside the party, the reading of everything and the favoritism. Now he make them. Them you when a former vice president of Sierra Leone, he look the party. Same party will make a vice president. He left now something not to Yumkella is you, but in Yumkella own convention. Yes, we also say Yumkella was the favorite going into this convention. And you get for understanding, will not go able to assess what happened, how it happened because the time too short for make them do the convention. The NGC is only 1 month old, so they get for put things in place together. So me congratulate the NGC, National Coalition, and Dr. Kandeh Yumkella and Mr. Bryce them for giving get this election here, for make them so transparent. When it comes to the ballot, like in front of everybody, even though they know it's not the win, but what happened at Kenema, we don't see on TV. In fact, we get blackouts. 8 o'clock when
so deliberately they give blackout at Kenema. Anyway, Zainab, you know, plenty of people today where they say Kandeh na possible cocky, na possible if you say you get this monopoly of knowledge, you sabi all team pass all man. This is not some of the comments the way they come in, what we say we get for interview now. They say a cocky, you know, under all cause if you say in the best policy ever for lead salon in is able for fix the country better than any other policy. So now that make we you know see way now the SLPP decide for forming your party, who say no other person no go challenge and pass in. And so you feel say Kandeh na cocky person?
No. Last tell you if I'm there are even when are you we get this platform. Yes? When they talk bad about you. I mean give example. Dr. Kandeh Yumkella take him decision because of the SLPP Madam Leone and chance. So I believe he take your own decision on your own. He puts in people the first. He puts the country first. Then at the end of the day, he not cocky. And he say for real, and not stubborn, he not cocky, but he just want the best. This is the way he form NGC, because we know they call it TKY, they call it NGC. This is the way he make he form NGC, and he write in he don't do for Sierra Leone people there, which is cool. But you know, some people them, they don't want good people them. They don't want good people there at all. And Dr. Kandeh Yumkella, now one of the candidates, now one of the presidents where we want to let him rule na Sierra Leone, because of you look, when you follow, all the things you don't do, and the old work, and the best for now. And also no candidate they can Dr. Kandeh Yumkella. Dr. Kandeh Yumkella are the best for right now.
Right. And so, Mr. Sako, so right now, you know, looking at the dynamics, other people then say when they talk say, you know, from the time where Kandeh Yumkella came to Sierra Leone, we resigned from the United Nations, came to Sierra Leone, joined the politics of Sierra Leone. Then say most of the decisions that we don't they make personally, they say then decisions then we don't they all get problem. Number one, they say we come, they say in a SLPP member, later then final say not to member. Then back where you don't decide for left the party back, they say down the back now big mistake you do. So in your own opinion, you feel say if Dr. Kandeh Yumkella been good at the United Nations level, you feel say that goodness will go able for transfer into him being president of the country?
Yes, sir. Yes, we all know the problem we arise with in registration and everything. That is well documented. But I would say we go get people them, we not Sierra Leoneans them, we then get SLPP or APC at heart. Then they identify themselves as SLPP, APC. You give them the chance, then they go vote for the one who they at the heart, but they are not registered. And even if they sit down, then go sit down, then go all the SLPP win or the APC win before are done. But now, coming to transferring into the United Nations to Sierra Leone, that one is clear like black and white. Kandeh Yumkella under the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, we him in the league. That is because of his position and in influence. And you get for understand, because I know see you are a well-educated man and man with a big policy and administration. So waiting, when you decide to do something, you have to lobby, you have to persuade people, even though you're the boss, but the man gets, and then you get for understand see, other member nations, then they and the whole world make United Nations or make a care group Pankasuka, make a go na Chalo Monyamba, make a go na Kitum, a bring can development day, make a go Kaila, a bring can solar energy, make a go na Bo, make the fisheries institute for let people then train for fisheries instead of sending na China for good train with hundreds of thousands of dollars. They do that one day now convince many people there inside the United Nations for them able for being that development at that place. Rwanda go ask for that. Nigeria be past Sierra Leone, far with them, they heavyweight them. Therefore, able for Kandeh Yumkella was able to convince that department, influence and in eloquence able for one. So that will show say if that man become president, he will able to convince the world for bring development in Sierra Leone.
Well, you know, talking about that, Mr. Sako, talking about that, plenty of people that they talk say, you and I know say, oh, go school, we get what you call moral and ethical standards. Where you work now, United Nations, you they use United Nations money, then resources, motorcar and all of them thing, and they everything where they do under their auspices, then they credit for go to the United Nations. You know, for take them as your own personal credit. They say so where Kandeh they use the United they work where you work now United Nations where they take them for make a credit for use them for go inside presidential election. They say it is ethically wrong. What do you say to that?
I don't believe say ethically wrong. The reason why I say ethically wrong, the man is because the president of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Dr. Kuruma, well, not the doctor, Ernest Bai Kuruma, in itself. We don't see her on video where it demand for in good work, not for anything he do that he talk say, and the person now we don't begin meaning. Then people influence now in bring that one and not to influence not to any other Sierra Leonean influence, not to Sierra Leonean money, not to Kandeh Yumkella money, but Kandeh Yumkella bring all those dollars now Sierra Leone. Now that make the president comment that so far as to go to say inferring that you will be the next president if you do the right thing.
I know we read that way say that. Zainab, make I ask you this.
Exactly.
You know, today when I meet up Nabo, the people that we don't register say they are members of the National Grand Coalition, the NGC. They not give them the chance for me them choose who that go be the presidential candidate. Now the 69 people that we then consider as the executive of the NGC, now then go vote for the person way for be the presidential candidate. And so people that they talk say that style of doing things is not different from waiting the APC do na Makeni. What you go say to that, Zainab?
Well, I was so that sometimes they, you know, the bush ready to them, the bush ready, the understanding, people are not getting understanding. The people are always go vote, so the people are always vote, and then vote for the way and feel say for the Sierra. Now the Kandeh Yumkella, they not all them, they not tie them, then willing, then do on, then come to their own heart. And not me say then one the same way they know. They're not one, but just the fact say people they must stop. No matter what thing happen, people they must stop. For me believe say waiting and if you have that one right way, and the right they not compare, they not want like how APC then they don't different way. So the NC then do their own in the other way when the people they win. So that's what it happens.
Right. Well, you know, people that they say at least therefore don't get delegates, then we now therefore don't make that decision. Not to only few people that are at the top. You remember where APC that we choose Dr. Samura Kamara, it turned to be big fiasco inside the APC. So people that they feel saying that the same thing NGC don't do right now. So this man where they say they bring can change, what's the difference between in and the APC, the way that they do things. So now that be the question well might be the ask.
Well, there's a big difference. You know, you cannot compare. You cannot compare. Dr. Kandeh Yumkella and Samura Kamara. You know, they don't because at the end of the APC, they get their own style. NGC, they get their own style. So for me, I can always say, Ibrahim, people, they must stop. No matter how they go, they must stop. But I believe, say, the NGC, then do their own in a good way. And then do their own. Yes, I understand the point where they try for say to me, but at this answer I have to give. And now they compare, and they're not one like APC. Although yes, they will compare so say Dr. Samura Kamara and Dr. Kandeh Yumkella are the same people. Not only not two different people. It's not two different people.
Okay. Right. So Mr. Sako, coming back to you, people that be the talk say, you know, the few days leading to the convention inside Bo, plenty of people that be the talk say, you know, the convention where they take place in Bo, not to any other thing that they go do, then just they go coronate Kandeh Yumkella. Then they go crown her as the paramount chief. You know, na Bo. But then we find out say two other people then they will be contest for the same position we candidate contest for. But now Soumana they talk say all that thing they now make them make up, you know, because they don't want for let them talk say na coronation. So but not to be rare because they don't ever see them people and they campaign for that position. They na can't no more that we don't see. So Mr. Sako, what you say to that?
Well, first of all, Mr. Sheriff, I wanted Mr. Sierra Leonean brothers and sisters they actually look very, very deep into APC side. APC I call it selection. Not to election, but a part of the constitution according to the leader. Now, Dr. Kandeh Yumkella, we forgive and credit for this short period of time. People are waiting He just feels he just want be president, he want be elect power, a cocky. If you don't go ahead and say there is no need to waste any money to do any kind of election, we will rather that money we put that on the side because we know Kandeh Yumkella for be the nominee. But in all that, it sets a precedent because the party are a new party. Going forward, everybody will therefore observe the way they conduct the process for which they get abstract. Yes, now true say all the people that will say, oh, na coronation, oh, coronation. The reason why they say so because they say in the hearts of hearts, they know say even if somebody come on Jakarta or he come on heaven, a Jesus Senna or na Uda Senna, everybody knows and you go there for win. So that the reason that one they talk, waiting and talk. So inside the heart,
So Mr. Sako, waiting at the difference between that waiting you just don't talk for say no matter what say all might be no say na Kandeh Yumkella get for win. Waiting at the difference between that thinking and the way people that they think inside the SLPP for say no matter what na matter get for win. In fact, the reason that they can make Kandeh come out.
Exactly, there is a difference here. Field was there was a level playing field. Everybody contact everybody now. We need to, anybody who want contest a fully paid member gets every right for contest the election at the time not be enough. But we all see what's happening with the SLPP. We all see you go block Timbo, then block Andrew Kelly, then block Kandeh Yumkella, then map na do with Mada build the inside. And they not allow them go, and they were all Sierra Leoneans, they all belong to SLPP party. You don't see the one that happened at NGC. It didn't happen. You saw the ballot box, you saw it and throw everything around for fun in front of the candidates. They are free and fair. Even though we knew Kandeh Yumkella was going to hit, but the process was completely different. The SLPP process with Madabio was biased, it was leaning towards Madabio. And people were even fighting. Even the national chairman that went to the convention had to leave and go back to Freetown because of the way they treated him. They did not give him respect. They did not conduct the ceremony at all. His subordinate conducted the ceremony without any permission from the man. So therefore, in that election, they would elect Madabio. It's constitutionally not right, not correct.
All right. And so, Zainab, we'll try for wrap up the interview. So, if let we assume, say, Kandeh don't win today, he is the president of Sierra Leone tomorrow. Waiting at the first items, the way you feel say for address one thing at the country, Zainab.
Well, yes, the medical side, that one is. Then we were Taki. We were Taki, but are they sit on the medical side. Ibrahim, I tell you for real, the hospital and the stink and the smell. The hospital is not in a good condition.
Right.
And then the people are gone and they sit down. And then some of the teachers and the staff are they work hard because when months done, and then they get paid out. When months done, and then they get them paid exactly. Then they get paid for the next 3 months. So when Dr. Kandeh Yumkella win, areas
okay.
Yes. That is areas they need.
All right. And so where you can wait like a job activity, where and this back for be free at Sierra Leone. School for be free picking them. Okay. And so what we go do, we get for because we get other programs that we can, so we'll end the interview from here. But we'll get for find a special session. No, I bring you come in, Mr. Sako, for let you say your last word. But in the near future, we'll get for whole discussions on these issues. Because you see, Kandeh and man we like for talk. So again, man be in back we like for talk. So would they bring the man a little talk about the issues? So Mr. Sako, yes, you have the floor.
All right, I just want to go with the medical issue in a very quick, if you allow me. Ebola way happen, that one they don't show the nakedness of we health system. Okay? In fact, if anyone the way see below standard, way past that one, that. Now we know by diplomacy in sick, it's sent abroad, and the government and you with family way did it, pass and we also it's not nothing only, no anesthesia, no nothing. We know that. Then I want to bring somebody come because I go back in funeral in America. Dr. Salia, Dr. Martin Salia, the 42-year-old doctor, they come from Salon to Kansas. Could you say under APC government that I don't talk to in WEF, and I go want me and you, Mr. Sheriff, with the power get the bulletproof you get, make this woman for raise fundraising pay for him and tomorrow, but we don't go target on tomorrow. I want me and you come together. That woman now all length money in charter plane, in charter aeroplane. You know, say me only the truth. I know they talk anything in a lie and investigate. So I spoke to the lady herself and in name Aisatu. Now it's a plane. God know what you could do now for you pay 200,000, 150,000. You charter a plane, you man up and bring and come for camera. The government the way they send young people them inside plane for let them go for headache. They bring that man can't die now. That guy now a very good Christian and not be ever believe say they go create him or say them born anybody. Him believe say they go better and they count the better in Papa. But he died for his country. But waiting touching him up, Mr. Sheriff, the American doctor, where can at the funeral, Maryland, where they get the podium for talk. He say in Salia, Dr. Martin Salia, then go Cameroon. The man no gets enough money for hotel necessities. Not to nothing. Again, to begin in Western America now. And if you don't kind of practice as a medical doctor, they don't find a drive a nice car, or he decide for go saving people their life. That one day guy APC make that popo woman go charter one whole fight for bringing your man, then penny not go inside. Would you believe say up to now, Nazi pension, a day before you start to talk to you man, a Nazi pension first day man and takes it and not give at all. They don't give that body in once that woman is struggle for pay that play where he charter for let save a man in life. Sierra Leoneans them. If una see the donation, I don't put them out. The woman self don't put them out in family then. Do that, una go na that website, don't una donate and give that woman and help that poor woman. That man they na die, he go die for young people then. The man they use the money according to the American man. Waiting make not be money in Cameroon. They use the money for the woman the way we need surgery, but not get money for pay. Waiting busy they do surgery, they pay for out of the pocket. They take in salary, they pay for the let them treat them.
All right, okay, Mr. Sako. Yes, that's all the time we have for right now. I want for Tewuna plenty thank you. Of course, Zainab will tell you plenty thank you for all your inputs. We'll get for fine time for actually bring una come for let's talk on most of the issues then one by one. You know, we're not getting enough time today because I know say plenty day for talk about. But I want for Tewuna plenty thank you for everything. Thank you very much.
That's actually
all right.
for further days. After you na Igbo, after you na Igbo. As you die, see the day we find boy become, we begin for celebrate. See the day we find boy become, we begin for celebrate. Say we don't get another month, we can make it alone. Say the time we find boy become, begin for celebrate. Say we don't get another month, so we can make it alone. And then in turn and tell we say, in a businessman, so go toss a load to business control man, well up. Now here we begin for clap, the dance and GB let's go, but we forget to ask for best, this kind business in it. The diamond they go, the bauxite they go, the gold and the silver they go, but you go come to mama salon, last truck. How with the London mining business, they're not very good. With the African mineral business, they're not very good. And they got with the Ebola business, one of the biggest business. Who said that Papa they lost the picking them. That Papa don't eat, he can't see money and hear it while. That Papa don't eat, he won't have money and tell me lie. Now we hush you, hush you, hush you. Hush you, hush you, hush you. That Papa don't eat, he can't see money and hear it while. That Papa don't eat, he won't have money and tell me lie. Hush you, hush you, hush you. Now we hush you, hush you, hush you.
Wait, you got that. You look your locks for this business. I say women are jackpot in our you. Tell me. The other one also. Yeah, another one. Remember we. Yeah. I don't tell you.
I say the business they go, the money not the flow. I say the business they go, the profit we not the flow. The NPA they not proud. Inside the same business, we want to keep them not proud. Inside the same business, they have been men not proud. Inside the same business, even women want to go to them not proud. Inside the same business. He don't do what he get no, Papi don't do what he get no. He don't do what he get no, fine boy don't do what he get no. Man don't get cooking money for it, that's what they do. Sunday morning now. He don't do what he get no, Papi don't do what he get no. He don't do what he get no, Papi don't do what he get no. Man don't get cooking money for it, that's what they do. Sunday morning now.
And of course, family, as we be get the interview, I know say plenty Kandeh Yumkella people that be the right comments them. Of course, we appreciate each and every one of those comments. We know say plenty people that don't agree with some of the questions then, but not a problem. We know say them questions then they valid. Of course, we'll get for just continue for hold this discussion. Of course, that's the necessity of this kind of programs, the platforms that we don't create. But anyway, the Papa Don't Do Am Again, that's now one of the political songs that will go around in Sierra Leone. Of course, coming to you live from the Blue Room. Ibrahim Sheriff, of course, the White Sheriff's Broadcast Network. And of course, we continue for cover the NGC, National Grand Coalition. Of course, over here, we also get some people that will be don't convert to the NGC, you know, they don't left other political party, they don't come over. So let me just see some of them things them right about this time, huh?
Declaration for the National Grand Coalition. Pulun declared alongside the Southern Regional Publicity Secretary of the All People's Congress, James Charles Kombe, and the United Democratic Movement's Regional Chairman, Mohamed Sise, and a host of other opinion leaders in this part of the country.
I choose to come over to the NGC, that is National Grand Coalition, because I believe it is only the leadership that is more able to lift up the banner of this country from grass to grace. And I see the way our APC don't actually able to lay down myself and the people of this nation. I just believe Kandeh Yumkella because I believe in servant leadership. And I know what Peter Greenleaf taught back in 1904 to 1999. Say leadership, they begin from the heart that you want to serve. Just that.
In his declaration address, the core national coordinator of the KKY movement described the 2018 general elections as Sierra Leoneans' opportunity to change their standards of living, with Dr. Kandeh Yumkella, an internationally acclaimed development expert, as president.
The National Grand Coalition NGC, with Dr. Kandeh Yumkella, will change this country for good. He will create a country that will truly be the pride of Africa. He will create a new Sierra Leone for all Sierra Leoneans.
This is Bo City, and they are supporters of Joseph Mada Pulung.
It's the first minute that I'm meeting Kandeh. I'm very honored, a young man who has built his own career. I'm happy that we're meeting for the first time. God bless you. I've listened to your lyrics. I think you're speaking to all the old generation. You better work hard or you give us new faces.
Definitely, the song is really turning heads. And I can see even the decision making in the country. I believe that song influenced a lot of decision making. And we want change. The youths are yearning for change. And definitely I transpired to your message, and it gives me courage, you know. And I believe a lot of young people like me, myself, are coming towards you, you know, and we're looking forward to a brighter future.
Greatly appreciate it.
You know, then of course you know usually do this, but the kind of people like you say what I don't pass, guys. You know, I feel like we're saying this is a time for change. Let us come to change for better. You know, so many tactics they don't use for Caldinero, for they go right, they go left. Yes. But I choose not to do that. Yes. Some man they wonder say why this time Caldinero take this kind of stand. Yes. Because I feel like for say, you know, the Maui team up now, so when a Dr. Kandeh Yumkella and the right person we will make things Definitely. You know, people in the suffer in a salon. I don't know so many districts there. I don't see how people they you know, you get certain people where now national heroes them, but that don't mean say they for be president. Yes. For be president, you forget connection overseas. You forget about who party them. Now them big countries, the way they make things happen for Africa. And I feel safe for everybody when they vouch right now for the president, Dr. Kandeh Yumkella. This time, I'm ready for put everything on the line, for continue for sensitize the youth them, the one way they listen to my music, the one way they follow my message. Let them know say Dr. Yumkella is the right spokesperson for Change Salon for the next 10 years and beyond. You know, definitely, like I say no more, you know, this not time for where we go before. But the song, Fresh Face. We try for the long for. Papa don't work so just to get the comfort. Mama in the kitchen, they cook the bomb. We need good leaders to set example. Electricity no constant. Maybe I will take like this now.
You know, the politics, they reach the climax now. Of course, me family, of course, that na Kandeh Yumkella, the #1 Creole hip-hop artist from Sierra Leone, of course, originally based in the United States. Of course, they don't declare officially for Dr. Kandeh Yumkella. Of course, now that we don't see just now. It look like, say, the musical artist then like Dr. Kandeh Yumkella, because na mawe waju na mawe like for run, na mawe they talk about cool, you know. So man like they want then kind of day. But then it boils down to how about the other people that are the country then like them that way they. But anyway, one of the other musical artists that we begin for giving reason as to why he supports Dr. Kandeh Yumkella. Now me own brother, you know, Lansana Sheriff, way would they call Steady Bongo. You know, I want for bring calm down your message, the small tuna, and for make I go analyze them a little bit after that. So stick around.
My family, unado, I name Lansana Sheriff, aka Steady Bongo. I not been really one for talk, but sometimes if you not talk, then go talk for you. And when they talk for you, at times they will lie by you. And because I don't want to let them lie by me, now that give me the cause to talk. I did do this video purposely for brothers and sisters. Now the SLPP party where they go and talk say me don't form pan SLPP because I support Dr. Kandeh Yumkella. Do ya? I want to make them know say now my democratic right for support whosoever I want for support. Some of you don't hear about Kandeh Yumkella. Some of you don't read about him. And we don't see him kolo one. In connection at the world, what he don't do at the world and Sierra Leone. And what he don't plan for do more for Sierra Leone. Make a collaping idea. With man call an ideology. Some people they say me na musician and not for your face. Where? But man, they don't forget say now this same musician, Steady Bongo, we campaigned for the late Tijankaba under SLPP 1996 when Kalfasmat took over the city. The whole of SLPP, everybody be don't lose hope, discouraged with the idea say, oh, we don't lose. But as a musician, I do a song, Victory SLPP and vote for Tijankaba. If na lie are the lie, my brother Salim SK Masako go testify. We be one go na Kalbaton for start the campaign. But the tension where we see Kalfasmat a member they don't mount. Make we decide say, okay, you know what? Let we just start with campaign na the Kisi area. My brothers and sisters. By that time we will start with campaign. By the time they reach Dead West, the game don't change. Now that day I see people they left the office, Makituma they left in market, school picking youth man then, everybody they jump na the campaign team. They say, oh, Steady Bongo don't do am back. I see man then, big man and they smile like a hero. And finally, the party win. The day for the inauguration, then left me, then come with musician from Guinea for perform for that program. Nobody recognized me. So me and SLPP would have formed by company. I left Sierra Leone, I go America, I go perform. I get some instrument that shipped in Awataki. I run behind some big funds and for help me clear that instrument. Nobody do it. I get for go into loan for clear my instrument. Now the same instrument they use back for the other election. So me and SLPP would that form pine company. I pull me some Macondo. The LCPP take that song all over Sierra Leone, all over the world. I'm not vexed for that because I've been there at the party. But tell me, would that ever call me for tell me say Steady Bongo man, you've done well, thank you very much? Nobody know do am. They not even recognize me. They were only interested in the music. So me and SLPP would have from Pine Company. When Dr. Kandeh Yumkella can the SLPP, what did them do to Dr. Kandeh Yumkella? It not go down well with some of we. As a musician, I talk and say, well, this is not go born good picking. Let me do something for bring we together. I do 2 songs. I call them unity song. I shape and give some big ones inside that party so that they go promote them and that will bring unity. They not buy the idea because I support Kandeh Yumkella. Kandeh Yumkella, not a Sierra Leonean. Me be sit down on my veranda one day. I dey eat me cassava leaf when my flamusu does cook for me. Now I get a telephone call from Vienna. I say, who is on the line? He say, Kandeh Yumkella. He says, Steady Bongo, I'm glad for talk to you. I work at the United Nations. At any time from now, I go resign for can't join me party, SLPP, for help bring change in that country. But you are one of the stakeholders in that country. I want make you support me. I need your support. I say, wow. I feel so touched. I say, the respect what you don't give me today, I go support you today, tomorrow, and next tomorrow. I do with you. It make I feel belong. It make I feel proud. My family wanna tell me back. Would I respect you and know you value, not to in you for work with? Which bad way me don't do SLPP now? I not curse nobody. I not sing in song against nobody. Me support for Kandeh Yumkella no mean say I for disrespect you and not support. I not they do that because I they do decent politics. I go make Kandeh Yumkella very attractive, talk good thing about her waiting he don't do. I know they lie pan herself. But I know they disrespect you and not for. Because we all know one. The politics go pass, then me and you go stay. So now that are the tell me brothers and sisters. I not disrespect nobody. And some of we know they do them campaign for say therefore.
All right, so me family now we brought an Steady Bongo, of course, the tape along, but just to talk about personal reasons why he decided for Komo SLPP and join Kandeh NGC. I think say na in democratic right for do what he do, na in democratic right nobody know for stop him. The only problem I get with his speech na way it take him personal. For say, something way not for in particularly all the talks the way he talk is about him. It's not about the party or the country. It's about him. Like that kind of see us all they do. If we begin for think the way we steady think, then of course we're not gonna do nothing for Sierra Leone. I mean, some of we don't participate at the highest level inside political parties them. They know we caliber, they know we qualifications, they know our capabilities, they know what we're able for bring camp to the table. But we don't stand for elections so many times, they know they vote for we. In fact, then they turn around for even do we bad. But at any rate, when time come for convention, we still go there. They're not gonna make we left the party, they're not gonna make we left the country work, we go do them. And so once we begin for take things then personal, now we'll not get any guarantee because politician are politician. Steady, you know me brother, I not get any guarantee for say all the sweet talk the way Kandeh tell you right now, it tell you at the time where you don't become president yet. Just like way then one day we not don't become president yet, they tell you all the sweet talk that they tell you go they hold rally for them, they make music for them. But when they became president or when they take power or they go to positions of authority, they abandon you. Now we not get any guarantee for say Kandeh not go do the same thing. And the reason why they say this, Kandeh not don't become a leader in the country yet, where we don't test and we don't try them. and prove and for say he cannot be ungrateful as well. Because all other politicians, they are the same. So until this man prove himself for say, me not sound like the other man them are different, I want for me they reserve some of your thoughts on that. Whether people then get for talk about you. We say, oh, they broadcast now. People that don't tell we plenty say, but that broadcaster, na SLPP broadcaster, that station, na SLPP station. Just because of how would they profile with views on issues. You know, so me feel say you for reserve your opinion right now and not go too personal. Now that's me go say. I know say plenty of people then go disagree with me. But once we begin for take things then personal for say, oh, you don't do this for me. I do this for you. You don't do this for me. I go buy them an instrument and you don't do this for me. We don't put medicine and medical equipment inside one whole ship. We don't ship in Sierra Leone. It don't reach Sierra Leone. We want for distribute them free na the Kenema Government Hospital and Nixon Memorial Hospital na Shebwema. The medicine in whole ship don't reach na Wataki. We don't tell say them medicine and I give them give it free. We know they pay for it. We they go give people that we not pay for it. Because we not pay for that medicine and they left enough na the Watakite, the medicine all spoil. Now, if we talk say we get for take and personal, we're not going to do that here. That now years back, we may not be part of that effort. Now, if I talk say because of what they be do today, I'm not going to start this broadcasting there, I'm not going to help my country. That is just how I look at it. So I feel say steady being personal a little bit inside that broadcast day. He was a little personal. But anyway, let's go before and continue for bring kind of shows to you. Stick around with us.
What's important now in nations? The other thing, a few people look pessimistic about politics. Now that's also a no one let them be. Then say, oh, politician and can just talk. I wish meeting you on the inspiration and confidence. Say good people for camp and politics. When una full una hand, una keep away. The loud people, the one the way they fet. Now then they go inside and well all thing. So that they beg una. Good people, una step forward. Whether you na pastor, you na imam, you na teacher, you na community leader. So God una step forward and take control of una life. Una don't hear the record, you vote na your life. But also you politics na your life. Because politics, if you not do them, politics they do you. When bad politicians they fix you up. So una get opportunity for change. Now that's me they tell una. Una forget mind. Let nobody no hide behind tribe or something else. Then you go beg una bell una put her inside. Now in pocket they full up. Somebody talk about declaration of assets. Yes, we all for commit. All of us for declare we assets. Me, I believe that all of us, but enough for be one person, everybody for do one. Everybody. Una begin demand that. And we for do it every year. For let una see. Then una know say they know they come for fleece una. Now that make una need win at this campaign. Let it not be traditional campaign. Where people just there for cost. No. Now the issues matter. What you they can do for education. And yes indeed, now they me want focus now. Una see I don't spend 3 months. They go around the country they talk about education. Education are the liberator. Education and they make progress can a nation. Youth man get good job. Now that's important. So now the issues then they we want to deal with. Poverty. How you they remove poverty? How you they ensure environmental sustainability? Some man say what I don't do. By God in grace, all man go get for list what you don't do. Me I can tell una what I don't do. Una go look. His Excellency and his by Chroma self don't talk. Waiting me try for do na this country. 20 years they push projects then I are. Whether na Banka Soka. You go Ferry Junction. You they see the fisheries training school, then be like they. Yes. You go Pandembu. Where I go na Pandembu last week, 10 days ago. Una call the people then from their side and then a Kenema. I go there then welcome me like big man. Because why? We inspect the structures the way we put the 8 years ago. Let other people show back. You go both on, you they see the plaque. Now the growth center. The people then a bow. When at the Welders Association. They invite me there. They say, Doctor, thank you. 4 or 5 years ago, now you make this institute there. Now we they make Gadba, Dentin, and they now it's like saying an imported one. Now that's I don't do. Well, the other man and list by waiting then don't do for the nation. Me are confident. And me they tell you now.
was really talented. He's a doctor with a difference. Yes, it's going to take some time to to bring the hospital back to its glorious days. It's going to take some time.
Oh, the late Dr. Martin Salia, may his soul rest in perfect peace. He had passion for the job. He wanted this hospital to be the best in this country. He wanted to be see this hospital as the center of excellence in this country.
We need to check each and every individual, what you are doing. What are you offering in your own small corner that you could brighten that corner? How are you contributing in one way or the other to promote this place?
He is the kind of person, even a porter that is working in his office, sometimes he will tell the porter, go and bring me the broom today, I'm going to sweep.
But if the public didn't appreciate that whenever somebody has this kind of presentation, they should come. Because don't forget, by the time you have one contracting the disease, people going to take care of a dead. Avoiding, hiding, taking care of that dead. Don't forget, by the time people are dead with the Ebola, they are more infectious than all. So if they take care of their burial or their own, 10 more will be infected.
He has made their precious souls rest in perfect peace with Almighty God. Of course, this broadcast is dedicated to the two national heroes, Dr. Mada Salia, of course, and of course to Dr. Umaru Khan, both of whom passed away or died at the dreadful hands of the Ebola virus disease in Sierra Leone. We want for pray for their souls. Of course, we'll not forget about them. We'll still remember them. And of course, we also want for take this opportunity for continue for inform when I say inside Houston, also we don't lost big person also this couple of days. That now the chairman of the SLPP now the Houston chapter. But even though that one day important, but waiting important more. This man now be one of the best teachers na government secondary school na Kenema, of course na Albert Academy, Freetown, and then na the economics faculty na Frobe College, a lecture day. We're not talk about no other person. We'll talk about Mr. Stephen L.M. Koroma. Of course, he suddenly passed away right here in Houston, Texas on Wednesday. You know, we'll all be the past. In fact, we hold meeting and host this past Sunday. And of course, he was very active and everything. He just suddenly passed away. It'd be one for, you know, organize a birthday celebration for him wife. He don't get all the family members from across United States, both in your family members and the family members of his wife for me do that birthday party. And of course, people that all don't travel all over, they don't come down Houston, wouldn't come now, it just die. And so we deal with that barrier right now. And so why should they remember Dr. Khan and Dr. Mada Salia? We also they remember Mr. Stephen L.M. Koroma, right? And so my family then will continue for come to live from the Blue Room, and of course we'll get for bring some news items to right about this time. And so we'll go now to the newsroom for able for bring some news to you guys. We feel say very important for let una know waiting on the happen at the country in the past couple of days. Very, very important for let we know that. So we get for bring you that news item right about this time. So one for me, stick around as we make that happen. Stick around with us. Broadcast Network's newsroom. This is where we bring you news and information as reported by various media houses within and outside of Sierra Leone. Again, I am Ibrahim Sheriff, your host. We begin with a press release from the Board of Trustees, Management and Staff of the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, the SLBC. The Board of Trustees, Management and Staff of the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, SLBC, are horrified at the behavior of the Publicity Secretary of the Sierra Leone People's Party, the SLPP, Mr. Lahai Lawrence Lima, who at about 8:30 a.m. today, Monday, 6 November 2017, stormed the corporation's radio studios, raining abusive diatribe on members of our radio staff and threatening to physically confront whoever stopped him from entering the studios to be interviewed. On the corporation's flagship hearing Morning Coffee, a daily program coming up between 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock a.m., Mr. Franklin Rogers, the Southern Deputy Publicity Secretary too of the All People's Congress, was interviewed on his claim that Mr. Julius Madabio, presidential flag bearer of the SLPP, had ordered an attack on the residence of Mr. Rogers' mother at Tingham Village in the Bont district. In keeping with the editorial policy of the corporations, producers of the said program put in a phone call to Mr. Lima, the SLPP PS, to respond to the claims of the APC Southern Deputy Publicity Secretary too. In less than 15 minutes, Mr. Lima stormed the corporation's premises, ignoring security protocols and demanding to be hosted on the program. All attempts to constrain Mr. Lima and to pacify him to follow his party's chain of command to make redress fell on deaf ears. The action by the SLPP Publicity Secretary has sent panic within the SLBC staff members, expressing concerns over their safety. The incident narrated above attracted the attention of the Director General, who quickly met with his management, investigated the matter in consultation with the Chairman of the Board of Trustees. The corporation regrets to inform the SLPP and the general public that the incident of November 6, 2017 was not the first that registered an altercation between Mr. Lima and members of our staff. In one situation, Mr. Lima, together with a senior member of the SLPP party, was invited to meet with the Director General regarding a tantrum he displayed on the podium against the moderator. At that meeting, in which Mr. Lima apologized for his outburst, the Director General encouraged him to exercise restraints and follow all chain of command to redress or address any matter he might have with the corporation's broadcast culture. In our determination to continue with the provision of a level playing field for all political parties, the corporation implores the SLPP and all other political parties to field party operatives with the temperaments that will help us achieve our goal of informing and educating the populace. By the same token, the corporation is calling on the Sierra Leone Police, SLP, to provide the corporation with security to protect staff and property of the corporation. The SLBC was created by an Act of Parliament 2010, specifically upon the recommendation of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, TRC, to create a level playing field for all categories of the Sierra Leonean society and to reflect all shades of opinion. The corporation is proud to play an active supporting role in the upcoming March 7, 2018 elections and can only in a conducive atmosphere. Next, a report by Abdul S. Kamara of Sierra Express Media Sierra Leone states that as for arrested, police say Ugu Farm killing is pathetic. Police Media Boss Assistant Superintendent of Police Ibrahim Samura said, though 4 suspects have been arrested over the brutal killing of the Sierra Leone People's Party SLPP supporters last Sunday, but he quickly described the ugly incident as pathetic, inhuman, and sorrowful in the sight of any peaceful and meaningful Sierra Leonean. The media guru made the statement last Thursday at the usual weekly government press briefing in the conference hall of the Ministry of Information and Communication, UU Building, Brookfields in Freetown. He said police is not there to politicize, but rather to investigate offenders, criminals, and individuals who commit offenses, adding that the 4 suspects are currently under custody, helping with the police with their investigation. He advised that it is the right of any politician to place posters and banners at any point or center across the country, and cautioned politicians and their supporters to not paste any banner or poster in any private-owned place without the consent of the owner. Samura encouraged supporters to desist from preaching hate speech, perpetrating violence, and the use of abusive languages for peaceful coexistence, and assured the general public that the Sierra Leone police is fully equipped and have procured the vehicles to fast-track the movement of police during the election process so that a robust and security program could be enhanced. Another important news is about the next major decision that the Sierra Leone People's Party takes in its political journey. It is the prerogative responsibility of the presidential candidate, retired Brigadier General Julius Madabio, to choose his running mate, an issue that is seemingly turning into another battle, which many are doubling as a looming crisis in the SLPP Paupa campaign over the choice of a running mate. Tension continues albeit dangerous in SLPP over who should be the running mate to Julius Madabio. The camp is split between Dr. Alpha Wuri and lawyer Alpha Timbo. Wuri's campaign is spearheaded by 2 powerful people in the SLPP, Dr. Prince Harding and Mrs. Fatima Bio, led supporters by Honorable Dixon Rogers and Honorable Matthew Numa. Lawyer Timbo is both supported by another powerful group led by Alhaji Kanja Sise, Karine Kalong, Honorable Suluku Bokari, etc. No one knows where General J.J. Safar, a discreet politician, stands on the issue. During the Kenema Convention, these groups were divided over interest, lines, and conflict was mended thereafter. The Dr. Prince Harding and Fatima group believe that running mate, whether popular or not, is not very important, but the presidential candidate, so Alpha Wuri, who is for Pakaba's administration and Sababu projects across the country, is supported by them. They say that he is better fit since to them Mada is very popular. The Kanja Sise group believe although Timbo joined the alliance, he is a better fit to join Mada. They argue Timbo has done enough to earn him the position. They say that he is popular in the north. Like the APC did, Timbo is fuller, who is no talking terms with Cherry Coco. Timbo has the Sierra Leone Teachers Union and trade unions behind him, and he is also a lawyer. Timbo is also known nationally, and he is the one that has campaigned in the diaspora according to his supporters. And Timbo understands the issues better. The situation is opening more wounds and undermining the party's unity, which the supporters were looking to. The fact remains that the choice of running mate falls within the constitutional prerogative of the presidential candidate, and such person must be one who is comfortable working with. Finally, Salon Today newspaper reports that Sierra Leone fails on corruption again. Shortly after Transparency International TI's recent rating of Sierra Leone as bottomless in terms of corruption, the Millennium Challenge Corporation (MCC) has yet again terribly failed the country in the area of corruption. The 2018 MCC report indicates that Sierra Leone woefully failed corruption threshold and couldn't even pass the medium scorecard. MCC is an independent U.S. government agency with a singular mission to reduce global poverty through economic growth. It was established in 2004 to provide time limit grants and assistance to poor countries that meet rigorous standards for good governance, ranging from fighting corruption to respecting democratic rights. It works across sectors, the likes of energy, transportation, agriculture, education, and is selective about where it invests. That is the news from Sheriff's Broadcast Network, as reported by various news outlets, both in Sierra Leone and around the world. And so now we'll go back to the Blue Room for the news and the broadcast proper. Thank you very much. Hello.
Occasions to go back and serve a country. And once you're there, you should be able to measure your success by your achievements, by the legacies you leave.
I declare today, we all now SLPP.
I'm not going to be a novice in that office. I've been there before. I showed unflinching commitment to my country. I will hit the ground running because I know exactly what to do on the first day they get there.
You know when they happen, only presidential candidate declare in money, in assets, what he get. Because all na rumor the number. Me don't do them. I lead by example, and I make sure say people them do by example. So one of the main reasons I don't preach politics of truth. Not enough for me people enough for vote for me give me the presidency. And I do them, and I don't call on President Anis Kuruma himself for making declare in your assets. So I do that, and also all the aspiring presidential candidates made them declare the assets.
I come from Sierra Leone. I was born in Sierra Leone. Last year, 2008, it was ranked the poorest country in the world.
My doors are open as a politician to see what I'm going to do. And for now, like I said, I'm going to focus on bringing back justice for the people of Sierra Leone.
I hear the people walk by.
So meaning that on Saturday evening it not going to rain too much, but even that they get the likelihood to change, right? Because we know say this whole week not throughout na rain. So the waiting at the highlight for this week. The highlight is that there's going to be rainfall. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, of course, those are some of the political highlights. Of course, things that really happen politically in Sierra Leone, and then you don't see. And of course, fun with them. One for tell una plenty. Thank you for what they stick around with we. Of course, next today, one for let una know say we will get an exclusive interview with the elected Vice President of Sierra Leone. Of course, we talk about Alhaji Abubakar Siddiqui Soumana, of course, where we know say the president being unconstitutionally sacked from the position of vice president. And so plenty things that they will cover, we will feel say necessary for level brand come to una. And of course, one small this is Sheriff's broadcast network, and the interview una they can see now a pre-recorded interview because the vice president be the rush for good other thing, but we were able to get good talk with her. So one for me, stick around as we bring that interview to you right about this time. All right, stick around with us. Today, of course, Nafola will talk to a very important personality within in our midst. Of course, somebody we don't serve at the highest level in our country. Of course, we know they talk about any other person. We talk about the elected Vice President of Sierra Leone, Alhaji Abubakar Siddiqui Soumana. Of course, it happened for day in the United States today, and we're able to catch up with him. So we give him as a quick interview on key issues now the country, and of course this interview they come to now based on the request then we don't make as viewers all over the world. And so we know say you go stick around as we try for talk to His Excellency the Vice President of Sierra Leone now. Hello His Excellency, how you do sir?
Fine, thank you. I do, Sheriff. How you do and how the program in the phone?
Everything they do fine. We're so delighted for talk to you. And of course, this talk will talk to you today now with viewers all over the world. Now they don't say, let's talk to Alhaji Soumana. It don't take small. We'll not talk to it. So how everything, how you family and everything?
Oh, well, by the grace of God Almighty, I thank God, thank you. Yeah, are well, my family well, and we're all there in peace.
Okay. And so, about this time, now, who side the family base? Now, Ghana or na Sierra Leone?
Well, part of my family, they, me and my wife, of course, now we in Ghana. But the parents, specifically my mama and brothers and sisters, other members of my family in the Sierra Leone and other parts of the world.
Okay, that's good. And so we see say you did in the United States today, and of course we don't see say inside the US you get a very important international award. You know, award way they not they just give to an ordinary person like that. So you go on for tell with viewers then small waiting at this award where you received at the US.
Well, as you say, I don't know. Since last Saturday, I've received a letter, notice while I did Accra, Ghana, that I changed nations and organization, a non-profit organization, really recognize individuals across the world for the good things that they do for their community. The name go I Change Nations. They write a letter of recognition or notice to me that they select me as the Person of the Year for West Africa. So they come last Saturday to receive the award in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Right. And so we understand say this kind of award here now a global award where not to any kind person no more that they give to. Waiting at the specific reason we then give this kind of award here.
Well, you're very correct. I Change Nations to operate all over the world. In fact, at this year's summit, there were vice presidents from the various countries who will be present. People there of corporate background, people of political background, also people who come from as far as India, Fiji, they all been there for participate at this occasion. The Change Nation being come on for make them recognize what people they do at the world, and specifically zero on me that for my contribution towards peace. You know that some parts of Africa, similar thing will happen to me, to them, do otherwise. But for me, I not for go that route, but for make sure say I give peace a chance to the people of Sierra Leone. And when President Nkrumah be unconstitutionally removed me from office, say Sierra Leone big pass me, a big pass you all. So I decided to we're going to court, unlike for make do like we other people do. So the mistake of President Nkrumah, me not going to beat that because I love the country.
Right. And so, you know, His Excellency talking about the court, that now the ECOWAS court, after when the Supreme Court don't pass judgment on that case, they will side the president unconstitutionally sack you from the office of vice president. You decide for take the case to the ECOWAS court. Now, you go able for give a status of whose side that case done they now at this point?
Well, the case. A case that's a Leone case, not for me alone, because when the people of Sierra Leone give the mandate for govern from 2007 to 2012, I further go on for giving another mandate 2012 to 2017. Well, with that, President Nkrumah violates the mandate to the people in of Sierra Leone by removing the vice president who they vote for, when at Soumana. But not to me alone, but now the people of Sierra Leone, then right President Nkrumah violates by acting otherwise against Article 5 of the Constitution, which is sovereignty belongs to the state. So by doing that, myself say, I not say the court of Sierra Leone, the Supreme Court, the rules say President Nkrumah not get right or do that, but according to their opinion, I made the rules the president get right. So by that, the responsibility now for interpret the law, not to forgive their opinion.
Right.
So myself, since I will not take oath of office and I love my country, so I decide for go and the ECOWAS court for seek redress and bring back justice to the people of Sierra Leone.
And so, you know, yes, go ahead.
At this point, wait, to the question, it's a background I give you. At this point now, the case in the ECOWAS court will not make 2 appearances, and the first one, unfortunately, the Attorney General will be say it will protect Nkrumah, unlike the people of Sierra Leone. They say it will protect Nkrumah by air, land, and sea. Unfortunately, not show up. Instead, write a very vague letter. Talks say ECOWAS not get the mandate for looking into a case so the Supreme Court don't look. forgetting the fact that me being pursued a human rights case at the ECOWAS court, and that as a signatory to the ECOWAS treaty, where observe economic and human rights issues recently during the tenure of Nkrumah. So because of that, when they're not show up, now be an embarrassment to the nation as a whole. This is what is run a court, a shame for a country that an attorney general can go so low. And I decided to say, well, this one I will bring back dignity to the people of Sierra Leone. And by the 22nd of this month, November, God will give verdict on the case.
Wow, the 22nd of this month. And so, His Excellency, one area they were always very sensitive. The Attorney General and Minister of Justice in the country were supposed to understand the laws of Sierra Leone with Constitution. If in talk say case where the Supreme Court of Sierra Leone don't look into, the ECOWAS court not get right for look further into that case there. So like how you talk, Sierra Leone have been part of the arrangement for let ECOWAS go they look into individual countries' cases. Is that true?
Yes. Sierra Leone is signatory to the ECOWAS treaty.
Okay, so basically, I don't know what to make way the Attorney General and Minister of Justice go talk like that one day. But anyway, we know say plenty case where Sierra Leoneans they don't take at the ECOWAS court. The APC government have always refused to go to the ECOWAS court for able stand for their cases, and so you're not to the new one, you know. Definitely. So by default, they are going to lose this case. But there are plenty of people in the
not to lose, then the restore dignity to Sierra Leone.
Right, they are going to. I know, I like it that way. So plenty of people that be talk say, oh, this Maya so you don't go ask for $210 million for saying either for PM for the psychological damage, the physical damage would then cause them, you know, and where any other government inherit governance in Sierra Leone, I then get for pay that money there. So I want for me you clarify to me today, is this issue about money or is it about setting a precedent in the country?
Well, thank you very much. This is a very good question. For me, I know the condition of the country.
Right.
And I know exactly after waiting caused the war because of one great man in grievance, he lead me to a senseless war.
Right.
This is not an issue of money. For me, not a primary issue. Now, for restore dignity back into Sierra Leone, I get news for we all at the end of the day, which are very close to me for now. But when we come to that point, then I will get a message for the people there. The money is not the primary issue for me. The issue is the Sierra Leoneans then for being able for no say that nobody not above the law. Now today you go do and you get away with that. If the Supreme Court can act like a kangaroo court by under duress and give a unfair judgment, well, thank God we get the ECOWAS court and other international court there because you can seek redress. So if other countries that may attempt something like this before, the own Supreme Court inside West Africa, the Supreme Court ruled against the president at that time. Why we for Sidondo allow a dictator and a Nkrumah to get away with this? I take oath of office. I use the Quran as take an oath of office, and I take that sacred. So I will always remain bellicose or protect and uphold the dignity of the Sierra Leone Constitution we will have been given mandates for. Right. So based on that, at that I look at that as the principal issue, not only the issue of money.
Right.
I know the economic predicament of the country. I have served as vice president. I know the headaches we will get. So the money is not the primary issue here. Now the principle where they behind and say, and the Soumana will come say again, grab no more, let's say, now them first 10 days there, where you always can admire, but let it take action, there is something that happen. And the man that's the nerves again when the at one time in office, while I done the act of office, he called the local executive there, APC member, party steward, senior party steward of the APC. He threatened them, telling them that he already said that they connive against in third term ambition, and that the meeting the old and the old. He said, if they tell them, say, if they know, if they intend not to do to Soumana, and anyone by the venture, he will kill the person, he bury him, and drink champagne by his grave. And the Soumana said that, and I have proof right now in office, the state office, inside the house. You can imagine, let us talk so carelessly. He said that. So if you bluff with that, we have to stop to run. Sierra Leone don't need a dictator.
Right. Well, you know, His Excellency, plenty of people that they talk say you're not a very lucky man, because when people then look at the history of the APC, most of them vice presidents, they either then put them in jail or they kill them. And so you happen for they alive today, you get your freedom, you did talk fine. So people then say you get luck for even they alive. And so plenty other people that talk say this is not a very personal issue between you and the president. They say this issue where they between una and not get nothing for do with the development of Sierra Leone. So the way where they talk now, is it about that one a personal issue, or you are talking in the interest of Sierra Leone as a country?
Once I would say not a issue of not a personal issue, maybe personal issue. I've always let in time of office end, they have take a civil summon against that. This is not something of national interest.
Right.
Now national interest, like I don't say earlier, now for restore the dignity of the country where and it's going to rip the constitution. So based on that, I know we'll take that, and I will always fight for my country until the last blood drop, because at the time we the war not been done, we will come back to Sierra Leone or be part of the socio-economic activities of we country. I give all I able to give. Just after, towards the end of the war, I've been in Sierra Leone. I did it from 2000, year 2000, until the time, until today. I left America, I left the comfort zone, and I go back home for sea until I go up on where the remnants of the rebels have been dead. So definitely this is not an issue of a personal issue, a national issue, because Kuruma na constitution is violated.
Right. So
this is not a one-man business. Now, the national constitution is violated. So it's not an exception to the rule. Igbo has the judges there. And I know the judges they act on that rest. So because of that, we have to take the action and tell the man, say, you are only elected president, you don't own Sierra Leone. Right. So it's personal, it's a national issue.
Right, it's national. And so, His Excellency, you know, posting prior to becoming the Vice President of Sierra Leone, you don't live in places like United States. Now you go college, you know how the systems they work, and they say the Sierra Leone Constitution they be right and based on the American Constitution. But the difference here is that in the Sierra Leonean Constitution, now the president now they appoint judges to the Supreme Court and they get right for to fire them or influence their decisions. And so, if you happen to be president today, you feel say that not a fair thing where they inside the constitution, or you go overturn them for make sure say if a Supreme Court they not that bench day for life, they not get for worry about in judge. I mean in job, nobody not get for influence in decision. Is that something you are looking at doing if you become president of the country?
First of all, we have to take a holistic look at the Constitution. Like when the Constitutional Review Committee done the work, I think say Kuruma for don't try to take that credit there and make sure that it goes through, and then we do put the right things in place. And the committee, the Constitutional Review Committee, do a very good job. Although some of the areas that we and Kuruma not comfortable with, we don't know why they don't do that. When I become president of Sierra Leone, post March 7, 2018, the Constitutional Review Committee effort no will be wasted. We will look at that. Not only that, even to the parliamentary standing orders will be revisited, because what we get there is almost like a one-party system. We forbid a democratic state. Look at what happened inside the APC system. Can you imagine this day and age? Now they will get, say, lifetime chairman of a party, the communist state. Can you imagine one person and the grab you go appoint a flag bearer and run it? That's ridiculous. It makes me look funny in the eyes of the international world. Don't left that in a communist system. But this day and age in a democratic state, we therefore do things we therefore affect the status quo of the country. So if a party they go into governance, it should be a responsible party, a party where they look into the affairs of the state and protect the interests of everyone, irrespective of the color. So a democratic system who they adhere to, it will be respected. So for me, some of the areas then, not only the judge then, that are just one. Several areas then, the way the Constitutional Review Committee are looking to, we will look at them and they will enforce them.
Right. And so, you're a person where you work closely with the president, His Excellency Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma. Nabi you friend, nabi you confidant, you're into the talk closely. The relationship is very cozy between you and Into prior to the 2007 elections, and even after that. Plenty of people then they wonder what happened between you and the president. Why this relationship suddenly goes sour? So what happened, sir?
Well, that's a million-dollar question. For me, it gets in own ways, but definitely the principal issue now because they want a third term we are not agreed to. I'm missing and really subscribe to that. That is the whole thing. But before that, I know Nama will get in ways. I will tell you, one of the ministers, a senior minister, one day, he tell me, this minister tell me, say, Soumana, you work with Ernest Koroma over 6 months, on another clever, you deserve a medal. I said, I 2 people they make clever. I said, I 2 people they make clever. So when we did, he always knows say now one captain they run the boat. So I accept the president. So I tell them if you go to the market, we can know something there. We make back and say, I am the president. I say yes, I know that.
They get for constantly remind you.
It's just like somebody come out of sleep slumber. And they say, I'm the president. I say yes, I know. So when they don't talk, I'm the president. He said that well. I am the vice president. Very interesting, man.
So now to get for the remind each other about our positions, for
time and again, the man they tell me, Koroma they tell me, I am the president, So I need to bring that to your attention. Say, I am the vice president.
So knowing the man that the time where he don't sack you, plenty Sierra Leoneans all over the world and demonstrate against that decision day. And so, based on your knowledge of him, you feel say he been care about them demonstrations than they or not?
You see, one thing very clear. I work with Koroma closely. One of the common statements is that when something happens at Salom, the media now only 1-2 weeks all in London.
Okay.
They get this one very wrong. So this time you get it wrong. So if it feels the way you do that, it will just go over like that. Try to do all kinds of things to hurt me, but I'm not getting that opportunity today. Me stay focused and do what I'm supposed to do. So when you don't do it, the people of Sierra Leone say, the man, he don't disrespect the country. Also me alone and the entire country. So that also reflects the first question we say, if not for me or not for the country. So you don't see, not for the country, not for Soumana.
Wow, definitely, of course.
Bring that back to your previous question. You asked me, not for me or country. So by the country demonstrating, out in the diaspora, it tells you it's the country. It's just because it sounds man, it could have been you.
Right. It's just difficult, you know, to swallow some of these things when they go on, you know, how things happen at the country, you know. And so, His Excellency, so now there is we don't get a lot of information about what you plan for do next with the Yoruba Coalition for Change. And so, when Sierra Leoneans then go see you, because the first time where you go Sierra Leone is like a large crowd of people in Sierra Leone be ready for receive you, you know, Nakono all side. So when are you going to come back, go back to the country and for present yourself so that you will begin work as a politician?
Well, at the moment, me organization of a party or a movement, they work. Then they are the Coalition for Change, and both in Sierra Leone and the diaspora. Okay. I mean, when I go for register the last time in April, I tell the people and say, I will go for bring back dignity to the people of Sierra Leone. So after the judgment on after November 22nd, then I will go to Sierra Leone for be fully involved into the campaigning, which they already go on. Okay,
so definitely. So so basically, I mean, you say you wait for the decision of the court. You know, now the ECOWAS, then you go back. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So definitely, people that they look forward to that. And so, you know, His Excellency, you not been a second generation APC member because of what you want Papa then do inside the APC. Now, looking at that political party, the time where una Papa then be the inside, all the way to the time where some of una join, and looking at the convention which take place in McKinney, wherein, you know, the presidential candidate was handpicked by either the president or very few people then at the top. You feel say this not the same APC way when a Papa dem dey inside, or the APC don't change now?
To start with, as I feel for them elders of the APC party which still alive, we then risk everything and in life for bring APC into governance. But we only study them, waiting and go through, and other parents are waiting and go through. This I know today Usai Shaka Stephen Day a problem even in grave. I don't say Mukhtar Kale in trouble and Usai then in grave. Right. But the ones that were there, they are alive. Elders of the party, the senior members of the party, the veterans then. Where some of them we been there the time where NRC drive for take away the leadership which Shaka Stevens win the election, then go to Guinea for say, well, let's have no agree. Then risk their lives. Activities will lead to that, they can describe later. But then very people still some of them still their life. For see today, waiting on don't work so hard for, without consulting with them. Just go single-handedly. Yeah. If they do that, I have some disrespect to them. Definitely. You have to spend this kind of APC now, where they can be lifetime chairman. So some people are now for waiting a who operate and take the bread and butter from the table of make APC, it is disheartening. You know?
Yeah, it is very disheartening.
They are not happy. And if they cannot speak out, I can put this in the public domain now, say they are not happy. Because I know how they feel. I know exactly how they feel disrespected by Ernest Koroma.
And so, what's in your own personal knowledge of Dr. Samura Kamara? Of course, they talk now as a Sierra Leonean citizen, somebody back where we don't get the opportunity for work with him and there. What's in your knowledge of him?
Well, Samura na a friend. I know why down. When me and Ernest Koroma they go with issues, Samura Kamara na one person away, big effort for resolver. This is true. Okay. And to a point, one day he can't tell me. He say, you know what I say? This man don't tire for talk to her. Forget about her. And I know in proactive statement that to me personally, all things that will tell me. But Soumana Camara, they said, well, the whole issue of being in the APC, history in the APC very, very short. But and the Skruma, now I know best why make it say and that one out of all the 20-something people that we invite for the leadership of the APC.
Right. Now the say one, right. Definitely.
You know what Barry will say? No, I don't say that in the public domain.
Okay.
What's in a pussy on power, which is a dog has an issue.
Right. Right. And so, you know, plenty of people that they talk say, it no matter who that win the next election, but they don't want to let APC they not have power anymore. It no matter whether na you, whether na Mada Bio, na Kandeh Yumkella, all the other, you know, flag bearer or presidential candidates, they say it no matter who that win panel, but APC for they out. If you been happen for the inside APC, how you go feel if people in the make statements like those?
If you look at the leadership of Soumana, I'm not a brag, but the first 5 years, we all see how we do. We do very well, not so?
Yes, definitely.
You agree with me?
I agree with you totally.
And the second 5 years, because of waiting is start for do. Things that we do, we may not agree to. Not only the political ambition or other things. Well, now we go fall apart. And if you listen, he's older than me. Sometimes I tell him, I say, let's see the way. So I can give me advice. He advise me, I advise her. So some of them things that if you not being allow himself to be surrounded by heavy people fans, and then it listen to advice. You know, for the party today, nobody know for say the time say they want change because people fed up now. Say and the Scrubber can say they come a new APC. We all believe in her. We follow her. This new APC we come with now. All man wants to say, I don't know if yesterday APC and today APC, which one I want for talk about. But we know say this new APC say they come with. It disappoints the people. So obviously the second phase of tenure in office, which act otherwise against me, then they got exposed exactly to the owner all why Soumana and the Soumana fall apart.
Right.
So, ask me earlier, say, waiting at prison. Now you said the type of tell me about
some of the reason. Right.
You answer the questions for me.
Yes. And so, you know, let's talk about the Ebola crisis where it take place in the country. Of course, one part you driver been get affected by the disease, he die. They use yourself, quarantine yourself. And so people then sorry for winning that country. They send money in the country for fight the disease. Sierra Leone became the epicenter of the disease. Then suddenly we hear say about $14 million of that money they disappear. We don't know who side go take today. In fact, at that 10 day with a reports they come up from the Auditor General, where all man as Sierra Leone and abroad be one for being eager for let we know who side that money they go. At that time where you expel one from the APC, you sack one from the government, you know, just for distracting and then they all happen. So we want to ask you today, because you serve at the second highest in the Sierra Leonean public life in the country, what are your knowledge of how the government may handle the management of the Ebola crisis in the country?
Well, to start with, me now, as Vice President, the Office of the Vice President, and they serve as the chair for the National Platform for Disaster Management. And the issue of disaster management, they under the Office of National Security. As chairman of National Platform for Disaster Management, we will not get few disasters before be it fire, be it flooding, mudslide or in some other areas on minor scale, and also some other related pollution that will take place. I do the best, and I thank God at one point the administrative assistant to then Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, he will Sierra Leone purposely, he will appreciate me, acknowledge me for what I do. So I will do the best in that area, the top international partners. But when this Ebola issue come up, and the Soumana decides if we're going to office, and even tell the director, national coordinator of ONS, and say anything concern Ebola, let them open my office again. I office there for work. So, and maybe the advisor again, when they go on CNN, they ask her, Mr. President, if we have to go back 1 year from now, what are the things that we for don't do? They say, well, if we don't quarantine that particular district, they not so they say.
Right, we hear that.
Well, let me tell you this time, my brother, and for the rest of Sierra Leone, I get proof that I had suggested that, and even for what sensitize the people, and I Soumana budge. So when they go sit down at international television, they talk say if we don't do that, too little, too late. We're not comprehend that early. They tell us. Maybe the message was right, but the messenger was wrong.
Right, definitely, yes. And so, Mr. Vice President, you know, we self now so can see anytime where crisis don't happen at Sierra Leone, would they see people them? Yes.
Let me tell you this. If an Soumana challenge at all, I got proof in text messages. We are hoping that the people of Sierra Leone not too far from now.
Definitely, yes. We're gonna be so delighted as journalists for Leo getting kind.
Casualties out of 15 casualties out of Kailam district. I get the proof.
Right. Okay, and so you know, some of you will be very delighted for get access to that kind of information, and they not because we want for vilify anybody, but for let the Sierra Leonean people know waiting the happen inside the government. I think say that one they very, very important. And so people that you talk say if that $14 million not be for loss, they say, you know, at least up to 4,000 Sierra Leoneans they know for don't die as a result of that Ebola crisis day. So you get any idea who said that money been go?
I don't tell you say. I say and the Soumana not going to my office there, but I really collect the money now. You see on national television, not so?
Yeah, we just say they see anytime when something happen, now the president will they see directly they receive check them. Right.
Now that many man is a bit one.
Yes, definitely. I mean, so when I not be set up apart from your office, it not be set up any other office, even if you want to take away from you, but at least with the expensive for don't set up another office for manage the receiving of their money that will come in. So no office not be set up.
But once you come to the money, the office there for care. Yes, wow. The administrative team na can go who's on a day for doing, but the money on natural for can.
Wow.
So that's what they do.
Wow.
So who's that $50 million go because me not to my own business. They say they can my office, they don't come to me. We will have the national platform chairman.
Right.
But when you come around you, they tell Ebola now. So one day, I asked myself, before everybody had appointed the then Minister of Defense for the Ebola thing, I said, this man, the all and the work under me as my platform chair. But now that it happened, do you want me to edit? He said, no, look, to let them report to me. Let them report to me. I mean, not report to you. The report.
Oh my God.
So I know nothing but cover. So I don't people their money. Not to me don't know nothing about that.
So you know, time can come where you can personally blame yourself for anything where you do wrong to the people of Sierra Leone? Why should they in that office? Maybe you not communicate well to the people that for me they understand what be they go on at the vice president office, what be the relationship between you and the president that the Sierra Leonean people they deserve for no, time kick away you can think like that.
Of course, you there's one thing very clear. The vice president's office, according to the constitution, on minus the police council, until the president would give or do, very good. Sometime in this, in fact, it will overgo official function there. It will decide not for go. Before me, the president, the candidate, they will call the minister, they go. Then they say, unless don't give the social minister for who keynote address. Me will go there again. I don't go. So I can just stay back without communicating. So for far too long, we do that. Some people can blame me, say, I've been too lenient, etc. But definitely, loyalty not to crime. Respect, forgive respect, not to crime. But when you don't respect somebody, you don't, then the person push you to the corner. So a point when a nation issue, so sometimes I will blame myself, say, maybe I've been too over respectful to an Nkrumah. But I can say to myself, I'm upbringing. Me na chief picking, a chief host I grew up. Matana side, patana side. But when all of that they happen, we respect law and we respect authority. And the first rule of power is never you outshine your boss. Yes. So I've been there as a deputy. And a whole other deputy business, the vice president give you a spare tire.
Forever use you when on
it. A spare tire.
Oh my God.
You see, because it creates a double offices there, now office, even to the ministers there. It is the Minister of Social Welfare. They get another one again, Presidential Aid, Social Welfare, Gender Affairs, I mean. They get Minister of Youth, they get Presidential Aid, Youth Affairs. They get Youth Commission. So, for just all that, they just increase the wage bill. We you tell and say, why all these repetitive offices?
This is autocracy, so you can get everything inside State House,
Yeah. It's if man tell me, say everything stop at my desk here. Yeah, not a democratic figure because he make the parliament a rubber stamp parliament. The judiciary, they interfere there. So now all that now the misrule and the affect in terms of office.
But then you feel say the behavior is typical of an SLPP leader like Shaka Stephen way past, because they say after the 19
APC, not SLPP.
Oh, APC, I'm so sorry. Yes. So because plenty of people that they talk say after the APC began the country began for declare the one party state, they say APC directly interfere into the works of the civil service and the judicial system. And so now that make way Shaka Stephen they do certain things that they interfere, how the courts they work, how the police then they do their job. So and as by Nkrumah in behavior, is it similar to that?
You see, one thing we have to observe: democracy, young now we community, we country, we nations. But Shaka Stephen days there was very, very, very young democracy. And the exposure of the world today, not entirely like that, and we have to observe, respect something or recognize one thing.
Right.
Democracy, now a borrowed culture or style of leadership. We are used to kings, chiefs. Now we domain. Now we country. So adopting another style of leadership, it takes time to understand it properly.
Right.
So Shaka Stevens in time now land of the land democracy. The things that we do, we're not going to be saying repeat again in this day and age.
Right.
So if an Nkrumah they go and do certain things, when I say Shaka Stevens in the attend colonial days there, as we would labor, and imagine how much we don't in the age of technology.
Right.
And all the transformation will don't take place.
Social media and all of that.
Important thing again in governance will take place. The issue of decentralization. Decentralization, the international partners then work with you so that we decentralize governance.
Right.
So when that don't happen, but we don't come back again, we don't see hype in the ultra day in those days, and then it don't become very strong. So we don't have we re-establish centralization. That now for me we make sure say governance we will take on to the people. But Kuruma in your style re-centralized. For instance, back Solomon Vera, the predecessor, in watch we only don't do about 21, 22 areas will be decentralized out of 83. When I come in, I increased that to 48 areas. And as Kuruma start for re-centralize some of them. So when you look at them, not to say a APC issue, now the individual, when you respect the constitution, and you will go by that. So if you respect the constitution on what you do in terms of illegally removing the vice president, that tells you the type of dictatorship where the man wants. Go ahead or go and decentralize activities of ministries. Bring them back as data. Wasn't at the point when there is an interministerial committee chaired by the vice president, the act is there. Instead, and as Kuruma to go ahead or say, let the councils and mayors and let them consign performance contract to run. But you don't allow the people let them operate according to the act. Or once they consign performance contract to you again, the anomalies in the style of leadership.
Well, anyway, so you know, we don't see plenty videos where they come out about how much you people them na Kono, how much they like you. The people that like you na Kono so much, and not only Kono, people that Sierra Leoneans all over the world because of the kind of peace where you keep, the way where you respond to all the provocations from the APC and from the president, the way where you don't handle the whole issue up to this time. And so the people of Kono then send we a message for level pass to you for say they want for know which time you they go visit them, which time you they go meet them for level as you don't talk.
Well, not only the people of Kono, this will come from the entire country. But like I said earlier, I will not say after the verdict, I will go back as Sierra Leone. So the people then, I did in touch with people then. And this not only for Kono but for the entire country, because what I do, the sacrifice where I make, like what you say, I don't make them for Kono, I do them for Sierra Leone. Or say when an Escoma misbehave, I don't react because of Kono, I react the way I react now because of Sierra Leone. When the war began, not to put on the effect no more, not to Kaila no more effect, and the entire Sierra Leone effect. And if somebody will act carelessly or recklessly, like what Alex do, will go that way or behave that way.
All right. And so, Mr. Vice President, people that they all over the world and they watch you right now as they speak. And so, with regards to everything where you don't talk and waiting to go on at Sierra Leone now, March 7, 2018, we're going to forget presidential, parliamentary, and local council elections in the country. Waiting will be your specific message to Sierra Leoneans all over the world right now.
Fellow Sierra Leoneans, I tell you thank you for the mandate that we gave in 2007 and 2012. Unfortunately, for the obstruction of Ernest Kuruma, I not be able to do the rest from rest of the time where he misbehaved, Fauna, because he disrespect Una. Now Una give the responsibility, but he misbehaved to we all. I I want to tell you that waiting happen and make a sacrifice. Because indeed some people they may want when this thing may happen, make up say I not agree. And next step, when we want now violence, then we want for reversal. But I say we contribute past me. For if not from your individual satisfaction, the peace and quiet we will need, we will be the foundation for development. La agiuna. Make una not run again like we una run yesterday because of Odesanko and others. Make una not go turn refugees in another man country again. Una suffer too much. Poverty in the country. So me, Soumana, I been sacrifice myself for una peace and quiet. For una focus on what una able to do. Forget una daily bread. For put una picking in a school and go manage everything and they do. This time around, I come back. For let una give me a chance for now I complete waiting una may ask me for do. I no say not to me one, but indeed for waiting I don't provide, waiting I don't show to una. How I tolerate all issues that we meet face me. How I remain humble to una. How I endure everything just for the peace and quiet of Sierra Leone citizens there. I say to her, this is the time that we all come together. Or put the country before, which is nation first, in order to bring a positive change under the coalition for change for a better Sierra Leone. This I ask of her. We all work together and bring that needful change for we serve and we begin there by putting nation first and correction 2018.
All right, and so me from with them now the elected vice president of Sierra Leone, Alhaji Abubakar Siddiqui Sam Soumana. Of course, we talked to you today from Maryland, Washington D.C. area. Of course, one for tell you plenty thank you, His Excellency, for your time and the wisdom and the knowledge we don't share with we. And that we they look forward to your next step in politics in Sierra Leone. Sierra Leoneans, they all they look forward to you. So one for say a lot of thanks to you for everything, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, and I always are available for your interviews.
All right,
thank you for the good job and for your role they play for the development and awareness of the country. God bless you also.
Thank you very much, sir.
Welcome.
Me famudem that's na Alhaji Abubakar Siddiqui Sam Soumana, of course, former elected vice president of Sierra Leone. I talked to you today from Washington D.C. metro area, and of course, we're very happy to bring that interview to you all. Of course, stick around as we continue for bring you the program. Stick around with us.
was really talented. He's a doctor with a difference. Yes, it's going to take some time to to bring the hospital back to its glorious days. It's going to take some time.
Oh, the late Dr. Martin Salia, may his soul rest in perfect peace. He had passion for the job. He wanted this hospital to be the best in this country. He wanted to be see this hospital as the center of excellence in this country.
We need to check each and every individual, what you are doing. What are you offering in your own small corner that you could brighten that corner? How are you contributing in one way or the other to promote this place?
He is the kind of person, even a porter that is working in his office, sometimes he will tell the porter, go and bring me the broom today, I'm going to sweep.
But if the public didn't appreciate that whenever somebody has this kind of presentation, they should come. Because don't forget, by the time you have one contracting the disease, people going to take care of a dead. Avoiding, hiding, taking care of that dead. Don't forget, by the time people are dead with the Ebola, they are more infectious than all. So if they take care of their burial or their own, 10 more will be infected.
Of course, may their precious souls rest in perfect peace with the Almighty God. Of course, for the way where they sacrifice their lives, and all other Sierra Leoneans that will die as a result of the Ebola virus disease will break out in our country, Sierra Leone. Of course, we don't establish the fact that if there was proper management of that disease, the people that will die, they never don't die to that magnitude, to that level. But there was no proper management of the disease. In fact, they end up for siphon the money where people then sorry for we saying that the country for me they're able for men with people them. So that is really a backwardness. Now the way then this whole day being as alone. But anyway, we get for now go towards the end of the broadcast. But before we go towards the end of the broadcast, we want to bring Cam to now an exclusive video about Ghana. Again, of course, Ghana, they deep and fast track development in the country. A country where na salon they come for get job, for me they able to live a good life. Country which side the people that be to line for toothpaste. Today, Ghana, they compete with international, with first worlds or first countries in the world. And they compete at all levels. And so one with sister being happen for go to Ghana, it go spend some time there, go school there. We get for talk to him briefly, very short, for make it go give we waiting an eyewitness account of waiting is see in Ghana. All right. So for now, let's stick around and see this.
One of the most stable countries in West Africa since its transition to multi-party democracy in 1992. With strong and continuously improving institutions of good governance. Home to one of West Africa's largest ports, Tema, with the most efficient air, road and sea connections to the sub-region, and with 540 kilometers of coastline and sunshine all year round. Ghana is ranked the best place market of over 350 million people. Ghana has 8 million hectares of arable land, supported by a wide network of water bodies across the country, making it a region ready for large-scale mechanized agriculture. Our drive to become a leading agro-industrial nation is expanding opportunities in the agro-processing sector as government continues to invest in technologies and new policies to support the rapid development of this industry. Recent discoveries of oil and gas in commercial quantities and the introduction of more sustainable sources of power like solar, wind, and thermal
will significantly increase the country's energy resources, making our goal of becoming a net exporter of power and fuel by 2020 easily attainable. With a mobile penetration rate of 136% and data penetration at 70%, the highest number of fiber optic points in the West African sub-region, and a fintech industry worth over $8 billion, Ghana's ICT sector ensures the highest quality of global connectivity. Ghana's growing consumer market is providing compelling reasons for investing in the services sector. A growing middle class with increasing purchasing power is creating demand for a wider variety of sophisticated services in healthcare, finance, and education. A quality tourism destination with world-class facilities, 540 kilometers of pristine sandy beaches, and several ecotourism sites opening up across the country. Ghana's tourism sector is one of the fastest growing. Ghana has the right legal and regulatory framework for doing business in Africa and is committed to pursuing reforms that increase foreign direct investment. The government of Ghana, through the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, is committed to driving investment environment reforms to improve the ease of doing business for both local and foreign investors. Ghana is moving swiftly to make its vast potential real. Ghana is on the go. We are open for business. One of the most...
Family, when I don't see, we don't talk plenty about Ghana today. We don't show now all the Google things then way Ghana they do. Waiting make they do this now because Ghana and Sierra Leone we are closely related. We be there under the same British people them. Now country Ghanaians they be the come, where they want get job, where they want get good things. Then to we they be the come first time. But all that one they be don't change now. So because of everything we don't show you, you know, one with sister day we be done in Ghana, you know, you don't spend some time there. We just want for us can you experience where they in Ghana, waiting at some of the good things the way you see there. So now that person they would bring come to Una now. Of course, not to other person, Naomi Davis. Now they bring come to Una today. Hello Naomi, how you do?
Thank God, okay.
Okay. Well, welcome back to Freetown. I know say you don't come at no place like home. You did back na Freetown. I know say you glad. But I know say when you did na Ghana, when you enter na Ghana, you say, wow, this is different. So waiting at some of the things then where you see na Ghana, where impress you?
Well, anyway, for me, country. I don't know for them because I cannot see no changes. System will let some of the country and so I'm looking back. Light business.
Lights not there, the road, right?
Yes. The road not too good. The network too poor. And it cannot. For now, it's difficult for me for connect network. All man they go the tariff they high. But it's about Ghana. If I buy 5 CD credit, it is an 2 days up to 4 days. It depends. Ghana, for me, Ghana is nice. Although Sierra Leone is my country, another for waiting, but I'm a country anyway. But the way I see things, the country is not too okay. We need for put one together and care for the country. If we can look example, Ghana is not Africa country, now West Africa country, but they're more advanced, they organize, the country is so nice, everything they order, the people of themselves, they like themselves. So I think so we'll travel more and see the other people and they do at least the country will go before by that. Look now, we'll go Nigeria, waiting Nigeria advance a little bit for this celebrity, their fashion, everything in order, then they try for themselves. It can't be nice anyway. But me, for what kind of, I go for 2 years now, I don't can, no improvement, nothing like that.
So like
anyway, I thank God because I meet the country peaceful. So thank you for that. Country peaceful. I thank God for that.
So like when you been in Ghana, you don't talk about the data, the lights, the roads. So all things and they look okay inside Ghana, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
The road, the road poor. Ghana road, they see everything nice. They let you go to a street. Where you buy something, if you just say they put it inside the taxi, they waiting. Because we advance anyways. They're really, really organized.
Wow. And so,
really organized.
like what you've been there under, so, you know, how the Ghanaians then welcoming to foreigners then, like how salon we as foreigner don't come, we don't open, and so Ghanaians then back they do?
Well, where that side then, I don't pass Ghanaians then, because I believe so we're in our country. So they think as this person you know like me, this person you know like me. Whoa, the one that we don't travel. Because if I believe, if I can think, like what I do Ghana, if I see me compete in Ghana, the happy for the glad is for Sian, all the day back in days, but when you can't return, the bad is too much, and that's the problem. Nobody no wants to compete better one. But Ghanaians and now they really like themselves. Ghana man like themselves, but they then like their language, that and treat and the style and go that and treat and they ever wish they like themselves, and they like their country too. They always want to see their country improve. They always want to make their country they up standard. They're really proud of their country. If not so research can do, you go fine.
Right. And so you say how long you been in Ghana?
2 years.
2 years, okay. So when you don't come back, like it's like you shock already, right?
Pardon? I didn't get you.
I said like when you don't come back, it been shock you where you land, where you can't say free tour, everything shock you first.
Where I come first, like before they were entering, I don't see no difference, no change. No change, no change at all. I left for no more, so back I meet the same country, same salon.
Hey, salon. Okay. Well,
I see overhead, see the road there, see the development, and now then just the education standard, the education is very good. If you back in do then kind of I believe the country will go up because access to be the and say our country will be the best education. Sierra Leone they come out there for can study, but now we go Ghana for go study. Imagine.
Where the hospital then? You know, you able for see any one part of the hospital then in the country?
Come again?
I say you be able for see any one part of the hospital then in the country?
Oh my God, I don't get you.
You know, it gets me fine. The hospital them, you be able for see any of the hospital, how the medical system?
The medical treatment is very nice.
Okay.
Ghana medical treatment is very, very nice. And get standard doctor then, the medicine then good. But if I can believe, if I can think, because some of working, even with our biggest salon and so, back in those inside them big boss, they get an upper country, where they train from Ghana, the school, and most of the medicine, they get a local medicine, that's why they take me to the English tablet. So, like, nice.
Right.
Ghana, the medical issue is very, very good. Because at first the time I be there, working graduate from doctors, we go America, then get work. Then just a Ghana man, the medical side is very accurate, it's very nice.
So like when you come back, so you compete, you party, they tell you say, hey, you look different, or your body all don't change. Then tell you something, talk like that.
One man they tell me that they say me color change, I don't got body. It's like Ghana eat that. It I say yes, I don't eat it, and I eat it. And the man they say me look change, I don't get body. Because I be salon, so me body be there. Now I don't go Ghana, I don't come, I don't change. Skin all don't change. They say me don't have body.
So based on what you see in the country, when you go back na Ghana, your sister get for tell you say, hey, your body all don't change for you.
And obviously therefore say that. But I would try very hard for making not change anything, or even make my body not cold. I would try.
All right, Aisha, we'll tell you plenty thank you for your time and everything. You know, we just want to talk to you briefly, let you give you first-hand information. So thank you very much, Aisha.
Thank you, Mr. Sheriff.
All right, we'll go talk then later, yeah?
Okay.
The Black Star Stadium is a futuristic facility that will be built under Ghana's long-term national development plan to host a major international sporting event such as the FIFA World Cup or the Olympic Games. It will be to Ghana what the Statue of Liberty is to America or the Eiffel Tower is to France. It will be an iconic tribute to Ghanaian ingenuity, vision and hard work. The stadium's state-of-the-art features will draw from the best of the 21st century technology, engineering and architecture. It will be eco-friendly and a powerhouse of social, economic and sporting activities. The entire roof will be made up of solar panels to provide electricity for the stadium. Solid and liquid waste generated at the stadium will be recycled to provide additional energy. There will be 4,000 underground parking spaces equivalent to a 4-story building. The 5 points of the star will contain the following: a hotel, offices, conference facilities, entertainment facilities, recreational facilities, shops, restaurants, a world-class sports medicine and research facility, and a national sports museum. The stadium will be linked by road and rail as part of the National Rail and Highways network that will go through all 10 regional capitals. The Black Star Stadium is expected to attract millions of tourists every year from within and outside Ghana. It will provide thousands of jobs directly and indirectly to the youth of Ghana. The future of Ghana. Dream it, plan it, live it. Brought to you by the National Development Planning Commission.
Yes, my family in Ghana, that one day, now this then they plan out for do next. Because they get for host the FIFA World Cup, and of course, by the time when they host that World Cup, now so then stadium get for look like. Okay, so this not just people that way they look ahead. Now, would they bring them in and day to now because of who side we dey right now? We not remember for do all them in and day. Every time we election time can we elect two people then they're gonna power. They need to do nothing but for steal money, thief money, and for not able to do nothing for our country. And so my family now so we get for end the broadcast today. Once more, me Ibrahim Sheriff, and I tell you plenty thank you for where we're not able for join we today, for able for follow we. Of course, you were not able for watch we. The recorded version of this broadcast get for be available in the next 5 minutes, and of course we will also put on our YouTube. All right. So once more, we want for tell you plenty thank you. All right, we're not going able for read the comments then today. People then put plenty comments then, but we will left them for next week. Thank you very much, my family.
Occasions to go back and serve a country. And once you're there, you should be able to measure your success by your achievements, by the legacies you leave.
I declare say today, we all now SLPP.
I'm not going to be a novice in that office. I've been there before. I showed unflinching commitment to my country. I will hit the ground running because I know exactly what to do on the first day they get there.
In one day happen, only presidential candidate declare in money, in assets, what he get. Because all the rumor, the number, me don't do them. I lead by example, and I make sure say people do by example. So one of the main reasons I don't preach politics of truth. Not enough for make people enough for vote for me, give me the presidency. And I do them, and I don't call on President Anis Kuruma himself for making declare in your asset. So I did do that, and also all the aspiring presidential candidates made and declare the asset.
I come from Sierra Leone. I was born in Sierra Leone. Last year, 2008, it was ranked the poorest country in the world.
My doors are open as a politician to see what I'm going to do. And for now, like I said, I'm going to focus on bringing back justice for the people of Sierra Leone.
I hear the people walk by.
So meaning that on Saturday evening, it not going to rain too much. But even that, they get the likelihood to change, right? Because we know say this whole week now throughout now rain. So the waiting at the highlight for this week, the highlight is that there's going to be rainfall.